Yanille. Just look at it. A relic of the past. A place most people would consider out of the way and irrelevant. But the secret truth is that this city is full of some of the most fascinating forgotten content in the game. Over the last year, I've been on a journey of exploration and discovery. And now, after 850 hours spent in Yanille, I've uncovered every tiny detail about the city and its history. So join me. This is the story of ChunkYanille, my extreme one-chunk ironman. The map of Runescape is divided into chunks. As a one-chunk man, I'll have to complete all tasks in my chunk before moving on to the next. And I'll be starting right here in Yanille. Welcome to Yanille. This has been my home since February 2023. You might be wondering why I've spent almost an entire year here. Well, this all started because I wanted to play an extreme one-chunk Ironman. The basic idea of this type of account is that I'm locked to one chunk, a small area of the game, and I have to complete every possible task in that area before I can leave. The extreme nature of this account means that some of these goals are ridiculously time-consuming, as you're about to see. If you want to read the complete account rules, they're in the video description, but all you really need to know is that I have to complete these tasks before I can leave Yanille. Oh, and I started with 2 chunks instead of the normal one, so I could access all of the city. These tasks have guided me to so many unexpected things, and I can't wait to show you, so let's dive in. I wanted to give this character a classic old-school look, so I took inspiration from the Yanillian soldiers. A quick minigame teleport to Castle Wars keeps the music list clean, and after a brief and perfectly seamless journey, I'm here. So here we are in Yanille. Let's take a look around to start things off. Obviously, I'm standing in front of the Wizards Guild, which represents my biggest main goal for the account, 66 magic. One thing I know I'm gonna need on my way there is a lot of food, as basically everything I'll be doing in Yanille deals damage to me. Thankfully, our first stop should help out with that. We'll walk past the men on the way there. These guys are gonna be the backbone for a lot of my training in this chunk. Ooh, free jug of water. My first item on the account. This is Franita's cookery shop. It's kinda weird, but it does sell some basic essentials like potatoes and pots of flour for making bread. This is where my 58 cooking chunk task comes from. Speaking of chunk tasks, let's just complete one immediately. By far the easiest task is the diary requirement to browse the hunter store here. So there we go, that is a chunk task done. In here is also the guy who sells a hunter's crossbow, which is something I'll need 50 range to wield, and that's another chunk task. These soldiers over here will be the target of a lot of combat training down the line, I'm sure. And look, we match. Of course, I also had to make a friend. First day on the account and we're already becoming a blossoming social butterfly. Here we've got Colonel Raddick. He's kind of
Who goes there, friend or foe?
Oh, I guess I better think about my answer. Alright. Guess I picked right. Alright, I think it's time to get in my first fight. This cow looks like he's doing Nightmare Zone right now, but I'll still go beat him up anyway. There we go, easy win, and we get some meat for our troubles. Okay, this cow is way stronger. Let's switch over to cooking. There we go, level 2 cooking. I think it's time we enact Operation Steal from the Poor, Buy from the Store? That's how the saying goes, right? So basically, we're gonna need a lot of money to buy cooking supplies to train up cooking. My first goal will be 7 cooking, at which point I can cook baked potatoes. Potatoes only cost 1 coin, so it'll be a very easy way to sustain my HP. There's 2 thieving, 3 thieving. We've already got 72 coins to start training with. This feels like so much when you have literally nothing. Let's grab some pots of flour and let's get this bread, as they say. I'm so hyped to just be cooking bread right now. Oh shit, level 4 cooking. This is going so comically well. All right, we can use this to do a whole bunch more thieving. We've got level 4, 5, 6, level 7, 8, 9 thieving. That reminds me, I actually wanted to pick up a rake to start on one of my other goals, 28 farming. I'll need to rake up to that level to be able to plant a wild blood seed that I can get from the ogres. Holy shit. Oh my god. The first random event on this account is a genie. Oh my god. That is so good. That's gotta be good luck. We need these so bad. I'm actually gonna hang on to this lamp for a sec while I do some calculations, as I may not use it immediately. Don't mind me, I'm just kicking an imp out of existence for level 2 strength. And there we go. The money from thieving pays off, and there's 7 cooking. We can now cook baked potatoes. At 1 coin a pop, these are amazing for both cooking XP and healing. I had to look it up because, come on, who actually knows how much baked potatoes heal for? But it's 4 HP each. Also, they look like this when you burn them. Alright, we've got plenty of food to keep thieving, which is what I thought until I made an incredible discovery. You know, I haven't even been in this room yet. What's in here? We've got some barrels. Do they have anything in them? It's got ale in it. Oh, really? Like, wait, really? Oh my god, wait. This is insane. Hold on. Let's get 1 cheap beer. Is it just me? Or can I fill this beer up on this barrel? Oh my god. What the hell? I can't believe I discovered the thieving hack the second I walked in this room. That's insane. Looks like I'm gonna have to become a alcoholic burglar. Alright, with that in mind, I guess I don't really need the food I just made. Let's set a thieving goal of 1k to get some solid starter cash. Check out my insane beer drinking, thieving, tick perfect, efficiency, high level strat, max GP per hour, high level 12 thieving, 13 thieving, 14 thieving. You know, I realized I hadn't gone up the ladder and explored up here. There's this guy who won't give me his cup of tea, and that's about it. Yo, not gonna lie, I have never noticed this pond before my entire life. Since when does this even exist? I decided to stock up on some more beers to make restocking easier while pickpocketing. I even got 2 red beers. Ooh. This is, better, I guess? And with this coin pouch, we get 1,000 pieces of gold directly from the pockets of unsuspecting Yanillian citizens. I say it's high time we use this to make a small dent in the 58 cooking goal. I started off just buying all the pots of flour and the potatoes and grabbed a few levels that way. This is the camera angle right here, boys. Wait, why is there blood on the ground? What is wrong with this place? Eventually I realized that the potatoes represent so much more value, so I bought a lot of them. We are using this potato here, and there we go. A clean 600 potatoes that we're gonna cook up. Now, I thought I was being really smart by noting them. I thought there was a range in this building, but there's actually a range in this building. So I'm actually just stupid, but that's okay. This could theoretically get us quite a few cooking levels though, which would be really cool. There's 14, 15, there's 16 cooking, there's 17 cooking already, 18, 19, there's 20 cooking. We can now cook meat pies. That's actually pretty relevant. Meat pies I can, in fact, make here with the meat from the cows, which is pretty sweet. And to celebrate our new meat pie ability, the sandwich lady brings us a meat pie. There we go. 21, 22, 23 cooking, 24. Hey, there's 25 cooking. We can now create stews. Stews are actually pretty good. I can make those in this area also, and I think they might be amongst the best cooking XP per GP because it really only takes a potato and a bowl, which both cost 1 coin. So that seems like a really good option for me down the line, and they heal a lot. Alright, that grind ended us with 450 baked potatoes, which will be perfect to use as food as we start training combats here. My first milestone will be achieving the man drop table best in slot, a bronze med helm and an iron dagger. And there's some bronze bolts. We're gonna get a lot of these, and there's definitely no way I'm gonna be able to fire them in this chunk. Hey, and there's my first rune drop, some earth runes. Nice. We are obviously going to be stocking up on a lot of runes as we have a lot of magic training to be doing in the future. There's 10 strength. I think we'll switch to defense now. Also, I've been raking in the background, and there's 3 farming already. Can we get anything fun off the imp? A hammer. Okay, that's actually really useful. We will be using that hammer for sure. We'll be putting that hammer to work. All right, it didn't take too long. We got our first beginner clue, and there are no beginner clues that I am even capable of doing in this area. None of them are in Yanille. So I guess I'll just put this in the bank for now. And there we go, there's the 10 defense. We can now wear black armor, which is not going to happen anytime soon, but you never know. Hey, there we go. By far the most important drop, mind runes. 9 at a time. It's not too bad. We're gonna need a lot of mind runes. There's 5 attack. We can wear steel. Oh, it's time. It is time for the transformation. 6 prayer to christen this beautiful bronze med helm. Now that is the look. Went just a little dry on that one. 103 kills for a bronze med helm. And there we go with that kill. We've got 10 attack, and so base 10s. There is a very interesting drop, an easy clue scroll. Let's take a look. There is a chance that this is a doable step in Yanille. No, dang, it's close. We'll just set this down nicely right here. You've got a clue scroll on the ground. We're gonna check this out here. Yanille step, perhaps? Nope. You know, I was just thinking that we must be close to the iron dagger drop rate, and we are. But it's also the cabbage drop rate. 15 strength. We are getting strong today. We just found the first chaos runes on the account. We got another clue here. Is it one of the, I think, 2 Yanille steps? No, it is not. That's a shame. Yes! Yes! The iron dagger. Finally a melee upgrade. Wow. I feel so powerful right now. I gotta test this thing out. Oh yeah, I feel way more accurate, and just overall, this is a massive improvement to kicking men. And there we go. With the fire rune, we have completed the man drop table. And there we are, 20 strength. That's feeling really good. I think we're gonna take a break from the men for now and switch over to a different target. We're gonna kill some cows to collect some meat. I wanna make stews until we hit the next cooking milestone, which is 30, at which point we'll unlock another great training option. I am keeping the cowhide for now, because why not? And there's the big 10 prayer. Very nice. Got rock skin. Yeah, we're unlocking some prayers. Would you look at that? My current best in slot magic from an imp kill. That's actually kind of a look, though. Kind of a vibe. Me and the tramp. Nice. Another strength level with the cows. And with that strength level, we just unlocked 4 as a new max hit. That's really, really nice. Oh shit, we've got, if this is a maze, this is about to be, oh my god, a maze. Wait, this is actually huge. If you follow a lot of Chunk accounts, you probably know why the maze random is so good for me, but if not, you might be a little confused. The rewards from solving the maze are fine, and the nature and death runes are even pretty decent, but I actually won't be completing the maze. I'll be opening this chest. It was discovered that if you open the chest and leave the dialog box open, the maze timer pauses. After about a minute, the chest closes and you can open it again, continuously getting the rewards and only losing 1% of the maze timer each time. With all the elemental runes being part of the chest drop table, this is by far my best way of gathering runes, especially air runes, which drop 15 at a time. The only issue? It takes almost 2 hours to get the most out of the chest, so I'll catch you in approximately 97 minutes. Yes, air runes. This is so perfect. This is gonna boost my ability to train mage and kind of get to some early levels so much more quickly.
2 hours later.
And here we go, the final chest opening. Can we make it air runes to end it off? It's empty. That's funny. And we get ported out with a ton of stuff. Let's go check the bank and see what we got. So we had some earth and fire runes to start, but it looks like we got 16 drops of fire runes, which is way above rate, and a bunch of air runes too. It was a little low on earth and water runes, but that's okay as we don't really need those too bad just yet. Unfortunately, we have no way to use all the ammo that we got from this random event, so they'll just have to sit in the bank until we unlock a bow or a crossbow. I also got these potions, which aren't too bad. We can use these when we start to take on the soldiers down the line. There's actually a few other reasons why getting these air runes early is so good, but we'll talk about that next episode. For now, I want to finish up the cooking grind I started and get to level 30 for my next big unlock. 26 cooking, or 27 cooking, 28 cooking. Stews just give so much XP. 29 cooking. You can make a mud pie. There we go, 30 cooking. You can now cook apple pies. Apple pies, yes. That is the big one for this account. And there we go. There's our first apple pie successfully cooked. Apple pies, I think, are going to be my fastest XP, and they're going to take us most of the way to 58 cooking. Here's what we've completed off the Chunk task list. So far, we've only completed the world's easiest task, browsing the Hunter store, so one of my goals this episode is to get through an actual grind. I'd also like to tackle the wood cutting, fire making, and fletching grinds, but they're currently locked behind a bronze axe. We'll circle back to that later though. I think I want to start off with reaching 58 cooking, but to do that, we'll need a good stack of cash to buy all the materials. I've estimated that I'll need about 20k to buy everything, which will take quite a while, so let's get started thieving men for cash. 22 thieving. 23 thieving. There's a clean 24 thieving. Oh my god, wait, this is actually huge. The strange plant is one of the most relevant random events for this account. Weirdly enough, strange fruits are actually an anti-poison, and I'll need a bunch of those once I unlock the agility dungeon, so it's great to start stocking up on them now. Here's a good one, 25 thieving, and I am working on a couple of techniques to see if I can streamline this pickpocketing. This leads me to a new segment I'd like to call Fun Yanille Facts, Part 1. Let's talk about these two men here. It seems their wander radius is just a little bit off, as they're happy to walk over here just outside of their house, but they will never walk over here along this wall. That's actually really good for me, as they will follow me over here when attacked. Then I just run and go up the ladder, and they're trapped back here, forever. Literally. They will never leave this little corner unless killed. I've lured these guys and come back days later to find them still stuck. And this makes pickpocketing them way easier, as I can just click in one place. Personally, I love weird and obscure game information, so I'll be sharing my little discoveries like these with you throughout the series. There's 26 thieving, 27 thieving. There's a nice 28 thieving, 29 thieving, and there's a big one, 30 thieving. Oh my god. Back-to-back strange plants. That is actually some sickness. I got some, good fashionscape. And you know I stay on that raking grind. We got 6 farming off the rakes. There's 31 thieving, and this coin pouch gets us to 5,000 coins, 1/4 of the way there. Oh, okay, bye I guess. 32, 33, 34, 35, 36 thieving, and I've finally completed my camo top speedrun. I guess I can quit the account now. There we go, that's 10k gold. So we're halfway there, and as you can see, I've been drinking my beers using my beer barrel tech from last episode, but I think this is a good chance to take a little break. I decided I wanted to change up the pace a little bit from the thieving. As you can see here, I'm getting some melee combat levels, but what I really want to do goes back to what I was saying about getting a bronze axe. So let's talk about that real quick. In the chunk south of Yanille, there's a small camp of dwarves. They have some really useful drops like bars, ores, and runes. But they're not in my chunk, you might be thinking. And you're right, but you're also wrong. You see, there's an area that's literally 1 tile wide on the other side of the southern wall within my chunk, and the dwarves wander in every so often. This is absolutely massive for the account. Getting a bronze bar unlocks so many skills. Woodcutting, which unlocks fire making and fletching when I get a knife. Also, having consistent access to bars is the only way I can realistically train range, barring some crazy clue scroll shenanigans or the Phoenix crossbow, which honestly at this point I don't really want to consider. So we can make getting a bronze bar off these guys a short-term goal. This guy looks like he's coming over. Okay, there we go. Come on, bronze bar. Come on. Okay. Bronze battle axe, you don't say. So obviously, with only 1 tile to stand on, this is going to be a little sketchy, but I'm going to do my best to never leave my chunk. I'll be really careful with all my clicks and... Well, that didn't take long. Okay, seriously though, what was that pathing? I mean, look at this. That's just stupid. Hey, at least we get the bronze bar out of it. Well... just to keep myself honest, I'm going to create a rule, which is that if I step outside of my chunk while trying to get these dwarves, that it does not count. I think that the only fair thing to do in this situation is to drop it and not use it. Not sure what happened right there, but I will try not to do it in the future, I guess. He's trapped. He has to come out of there someday. There we go. What the what is that? Brother does not give up. Okay, so the melee approach is, not going great. However, I do have a plan. Remember last episode when I said it was great that I got the air runes early? Well, this is what I was talking about. Being able to range these dwarves should make this way easier and safer. I've even got my mage best in slot to help me get the most XP per cast. If I do get dragged out of my chunk while casting, I'll make sure not to finish the kill, but unfortunately that does come at a pretty big cost as I do have limited casts. Spells have a 10 tile range, so just marking these for a sec to see how far that actually is. No, fuck. Yep, okay, we got one. We got one. We have got a biter. All right, let's get the bronze bar. Let's just get it. Okay, now. Here we go. Yep. No, fuck. Here we go. That's it. That's the one. Yep. There we go. That was clean. Oh, that was such a snipe, bro. And we get 20 attack on that snipe. That is so sick. We can now wield mithril. Okay, another iron bar. Eventually, those will be quite useful. Ooh, and these are my first nature runes. These will be really useful on the account later, as I will need to superheat a lot of ores. No, god damn it. Ugh, that was so embarrassing. Our first magic level, and it is just sullied. It is dirty. It is so dirty. All right, that's it. We're not even shooting off this last one. This has been a challenging, however long this has been, 25 minutes or something. I'm gonna have to come back to getting the bronze bar once I've developed some techniques to make this a little bit easier, because right now it feels like I'm breaking my chunk rules too often and I don't like it. Also, I'm aware that this is a somewhat controversial choice given that a lot of chunk accounts don't allow any monster drops from outside of their chunk at all. But personally, I think it's pretty fun and it's gonna help the account in the long run. So I'll just be treating it as optional side content that doesn't necessarily contribute to my main chunk goals, but is just an extra challenge. Oh, let's go. We got the Fashionscape upgrade, the gold necklace. Just look at this baller. How do I lose? Anyway, I think that it's time that we,
Excuse me, I'm trying to film a YouTube video and you're standing in my way. Sorry, please move.
LMAO.
Anyway, like I was saying, I think it's time we finish up the thieving goal and work on cooking. I'm gonna shelf the bronze bar goal for the time being, but I'll come back with a better plan. And there we go, 40 thieving. Oh shit, is it a maze? If it's a maze. Oh my god, yes. A lot of people left comments about the maze strat from last episode. I figured I should share with you there's another cool way to maximize it. Basically, the maze is a square. When you start it, you're randomly placed in one of the corners. Only one corner has a chest that's right by the spawn location, the rest you'd have to waste a bunch of reward potential running to a chest. However, you can re-roll your position in the maze by logging out and logging back in. You can see me doing that here until I find the right spawn location. Finally, there we go. That looks like a good one. I'll see you at the end of this. All right, this I believe will be the last reward. Let's see. Water runes, not bad. Let's see what the spoils are. Look at all those runes. Oh my god, that's so good. 283 air runes. This is amazing. This is so good. All right, and the result of all of my weed raking, 10 farming. That is quite thrilling for me. This is the part where you subscribe. 43 thieving. This might just be the last level before we hit our 20k gold goal. All right, 1, 2, and 3. There we go, a clean 20k coins. That looks so good to see. This is just a general rough estimate of what I think it'll require to get to 58 cooking. Before we can dive into spending this hard-earned cash, I need to use this lamp in my inventory, as inventory space is finally going to be important for the first time on the account. I was saving it, but I'm not going to bother explaining my logic as it involves a lot of stupid random event math that I have now deemed, I don't care. So we'll put this on agility, there we go, and get to buying stuff for apple pies. Well, except I was thinking about it and I realized the real cost here is time rather than money. This shop only stocks 2 apples per world, meaning I'll be hopping hundreds if not thousands of times to get all the apple pies I'll need. So instead, I decided I would take this opportunity to just buy basically all the stuff I might want down the line from this store. This is what an average inventory will look like as I hop around and buy stuff. I'll be grabbing apples, pie dishes, flour, and potatoes and bowls for if I want to make stews later. Also, I put away my bronze med helm because, come on, look at this guy. All right, I will see you in multiple hundreds of world hops. And you know I'm raking as I walk by the patch. You know what they say, no XP waste, even if it's weird raking XP. And this farming level gets us 200 total level. Very nice. No, I wasn't playing with the prop hunt plugin to put a hat on my character. Who would do something weird like that? Anyway, is this a maze random? Yes, it is! Let's go. Dude, these mazes are insane. Yes. Perfectly on rate for the air runes. I was hoping for the back-to-back and we got it, but it's the wrong one. I guess I should explain this. One side effect of the maze random taking almost 2 hours to complete is the fact that your character is logged in an area where you can't get random events, which seems to kind of backlog your random events or something. Basically, after doing a 2-hour maze, you have a pretty good chance of getting another random back-to-back right after, but obviously it's not guaranteed to be good. Hey, there's an egg. It's a drop I've been waiting for a little while. That means that I can actually make a cake now. Oh yes, a dunce. Let's go. Yes, I am standing here at the weed patch just raking and basically farming for random events. I have no shame, but this is gonna go right on agility and that is amazing. Let's go. Another step closer to an agility level. So we just got a hit points level, and that means that we are now combat level 28. You know what else is combat level 28? My idols. The soldiers are combat level 28, so now I'm officially strong enough, according to the game, to defeat a soldier. So I think I'm gonna have to take one on by the end of this episode. In other news, we now have 1,000 pots of flour. Why is there Fiendish ashes in here? What the f is going on over here? What the shit? Yes, yes, finally, the chef's hat. I have been looking for this drop for like 5-10 in-game hours. Finally, now I can do my cooking. To celebrate finally getting my chef's hat, I think it's time for Fun Yanille Facts Part 2. Imps. Yanille has a crazy number of imps wandering around just outside the city walls. These pesky little guys have a tendency to teleport around, and sometimes they teleport within the walls of the city. Unfortunately for them, apparently their AI tries to walk them back to somewhere over here, and they get stuck. This happens constantly, like literally all the time, and they're always stuck in the same places. In the corner of the house, in this little bunch of shrubs, and in this patch of trees. So if you ever want to do imp catcher really fast, come to Yanille and check these weird corners. Homie's over here making tuna potatoes by hand at the dairy churn. My tab of 420 weeds, 4 bowls, and 20 pots is exactly 69k.
Nice.
This is the final world hop. We've acquired the last bowl we need. All right, let's take a look at the bank. I ended up getting at least 1,000 of everything. Yeah, 1,000 apples, bowls, pie dishes, pots of flour, and potatoes. Okay, let's make the pies. This will be super simple. First, you withdraw the wrong items, then you realize you have the wrong items, then you book it back to the bank, and you grab the bowls, and you fill them up with water, and then you make the pastry dough, and then you add it to the pie dish, and then you add the apple of that, and then... and then you bake a singular pie to get the first cooking level of the grind. 31 cooking. How about a good old level montage? 32. 33 cooking. 34 cooking. 35 cooking. 37 cooking. 38 cooking. Oh, we can churn butter now. The dairy churn has been unlocked. 39 cooking. Hey, there's 40 cooking. Let's go. 42. There's 43 cooking. We can cook that base. And that means that our cooking and thieving are now the same. 44 cooking. 45 cooking. Jesus. 46 cooking. That's a 47 cooking. Okay, we can make baked potatoes with butter and cheese. It's actually high-key relevant. So that is our highest healing food of everything unlocked. I think it's 16 per. 48 cooking. We can now churn cheese. So we can actually make those potatoes now. That's pretty awesome. And there's 49 cooking. All right, we got the lederhosen shorts. Okay, that's actually kind of an insane vibe. And there we go, 50 cooking. We can cook chocolate cakes. This, I believe, is the last cooking level we'll get off these pies. There is a last apple pie cooked, or burned rather. Let's go take a look at the bank. There we go, 742 apple pies. That is a lot of healing. That's kind of sick. I'm gonna take a sec to figure out what I want to do to finish up this cooking grind, so I'm just gonna do some more thieving. There we go, another genie. That is amazing. I didn't have my recorder on for the beginning, but I just got yet another maze random, and man, do I love seeing these air runes. And we now have over 500 air runes stocked up. That stack is coming along so nicely. And yes, we do get the back-to-back maze. Oh my god, what are the chances? See you in 94 minutes. Every time I see those air runes, I just feel so good. These mazes are so fun. There we go. Wow, that's actually almost perfectly on rate. That's amazing. Randoms out of the way. I think we're going to do one of the most thrilling activities in game, which is, of course, milking cows. One of the things you need to milk cows is buckets, and I can get some by buying buckets of compost from the farming vendor. There we go, 28 buckets. Alright, crash course in making potatoes with butter and cheese. I just watched Gilliner Games Season 3, go watch it if you haven't, and saw some of the best players ever to play Runescape have no idea how to make these things, so I thought I'd educate the people. Step 1, you get the milk. Step 2, you churn it into butter. No, you don't buy it from the Culinaromancer's chest. What do you think this is, Walmart? A Wendy's? No, this is Yanille. Step 3, put the butter on the potatoes. Optional step, get level 51 cooking. Step 4, get more milk. Step 5, also churn it, this time into cheese. See step 2 for rationale. Step 6, put it on the potato with butter. Congratulations! Assuming you made one full inventory, you've officially spent about 10 minutes of your life on 14 cheesy potatoes. 52 cooking. And there's another level off the potatoes. Starting to have my doubts about this method, but we'll see, I guess. 54 cooking. There's 55 cooking. There we go, 56 cooking, just 2 more to go. 57 cooking, just 1 more to go now. And I think in honor of being so close to finishing the grind, that it's time for Fun Yanille Facts Part 3. So I've spent quite a while now looking at Franita's cookery store, and I can't help but wonder why these 20 empty cups are here. It led me to look into the uses for empty cups. A popular one might be making Guthix Rest tea, but obviously I can't do that as I haven't done one small favor. However, I can use an empty cup to make one thing, and it's completely useless. No use at all. Let me introduce you to the cup of water. That's right, this cup is full of water and it has no use. None. And before you ask, no, you can't heat it up to be able to make Guthix Rest. You have to heat the water up first and then put it in the cup. Duh. One other amusing detail about this is that the empty cup is apparently the only item other than a bucket that can be filled from a well. So there you go. There's some more extremely useless information for you. And I think it's time for the final level of our cooking grind. All right, here is the end of the grind. 58 cooking. Very nice. That's our goal level. We can now cook pita bread. Huge. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's make some pita dough and cook it. Hopefully it's a success. It is a success. There we go. Actually, I'm going to pause this right here to give you a bonus fun fact. It's actually impossible to burn pita bread. It stops burning at level 38, but it requires 58 to cook, so you can't burn it. We have pita bread. There's another chunk task complete, and that is one of my main skilling grinds done. So that feels really good to have that done. I think it's time that we move on to something else, something a little more exciting, some more drama. I say we take on our very first soldier. All right, before we jump into the soldier kill, let's take a look. We ended up with 742 apple pies and 590 potatoes with cheese, which is actually incredible. That's so much. Perfect to start our grinds with. There we go. We've got some food, but we don't only have food. We also have some potions. We got these from the maze random, and I thought I might put them to use here on our very first soldier kill. So let's do it. All right, here we go. For the very first time, soldier. We're evenly matched, level 28 to level 28. Let's drink up and let's do this. Ha! Oh god, he can hit so hard. Come on, ChunkYanille, you got this. Oh, he's hitting. He's hitting. I'm not hitting. All right, there we go. 2. We're definitely gonna need to eat up after this. Probably gonna need to eat up during this. Did I risk it? This is intense. Zeros. Oh, we got a 5. Oh my. Oh, we're taking him down. We got there. Yo, we got there. That was sick. Let's go. Very first soldier killed. That's amazing. I'm so proud of you, ChunkYanille. Great work. You did it. All right. Here's where the stats are sitting at. We gained a lot of thieving and cooking levels this episode, along with some farming and a bit of combat. Here's where the chunk tasks are currently sitting. When we last left off, I had just killed my first soldier, so I think we should start off by trying to find our new best-in-slot melee upgrade from these guys. We're looking for a steel longsword, so let's kill some soldiers. We're gonna train some defense while we get this started, because our defense level is still very low. Getting absolutely obliterated by this guy. What the f***? Holy shit, I gotta eat up, bro. Oh my god. These guys really do not mess around. I'm eating so much pie on this guy. Nice, we just got an air rune drop off this guy. That is quite good. I kind of forgot these guys dropped air runes. Yo, let's go. Melee upgrade. Oh my god. That right there on the ground, the steel longsword, makes all this worth it. I was just getting absolutely destroyed by these guys, but god, it's so much better. And that only took 12 kills. That's awesome. Although those 12 kills took me what feels like forever. So, with the steel longsword acquired, we are one step closer to getting my pre-dwarf best in slot. That means it's time to revisit a goal from last episode, getting the bronze bar. We need the bronze bar as it unlocks so much for the account, including a defensive upgrade that'll make training on the soldiers much easier in the future since they were completely obliterating me. I've got my mage gear here, so let's go ahead and try it one more time with the dwarves. First dwarf, let's get this. We can get the bronze bar immediately. Okay, tin ore, also good. I learned a valuable lesson here, which is that I should just always cast on them, even if they look like they're in melee range, because this can happen. Yes! Finally, yes! The bronze bar. We are in the bronze era. It didn't take very long at all. That is so good. I was starting to get the hang of killing these dwarves, so I stuck around and killed a few more, but nothing too exciting. However, I was learning, memorizing their spawns and watching their movement. This is important as it'll come up later, but for now we've got something more important to do. Alright, you know what time it is. It's time to take this bronze bar and finally make a bronze axe. Finally, we have an axe. We have entered the bronze era. This is huge. This enables so much. We now have access to a bunch more skills, methods, and gear. But before we jump into woodcutting, there's one more thing that we're gonna need. I saw a few comments telling me to lamp hunter to get access to baby implings for a knife so I could train fletching. Thankfully for me, there's a much easier way to get a knife, but I haven't shown it at all yet. It's time to take our first steps into the Yanille agility dungeon. The first obstacle requires level 40 agility, but there are no requirements to just walk down the stairs, and if you look on the ground right here, what do we have but a lone knife spawn? Fletching unlocked. I'm super happy to now have access to the chillest skills in the game with wood cutting, fletching, and fire making. These are all chunk tasks, so let's knock out a whole bunch of goals and get ourselves a defensive upgrade with the oak shield at 27 fletching. How about a level montage to get us there? 2, 3, 4 wood cutting, and 5 wood cutting. 6, now chop with a steel axe whenever that happens. 7, 2 fletch. 8, 9, 10 wood cutting. 3 fletching. 11 wood, 12 wood. 13 wood cutting. 4 fletching. 5 fletching. 14, a new fashion scape. We got the hat. Fully a vibe for wood cutting. That's huge. And there we go. 15 wood cutting. We can cut oak trees. That's half a chunk task done. 6 fletching. 7 fletching. 20 wood cutting. 8 fletching. 9 fletching. And there is 10 fletching. Finally, I was genuinely an hour and I got 1000 fletching XP, so that's really slow. 11 fletching. There's another fletching level. 13 fletching. There's a nice one. 25 wood cutting. 14, 15 fletching. Finally, we can now finally use oak logs for fletching. There we go. Last log of the inventory brings us to 30 wood cutting. Very nice. We can cut willows eventually when we unlock those. There's 20 fletching. That's a nice XP boost. Oak short bows. 35. Why not? Let's make freaking go, genie. I don't even care anymore. We're just going for it. Dropping that on agility. 45. 25 fletching. That's another XP increase. Very nice. Oak longbows. There's 26. Just need one more now. We got an Evil Bob fishing random, which is actually really relevant to me because level 15 fishing unlocks the fishing trawler minigame teleport, which is a way I can return to my area, enabling better future chunk rolls. All right, here we go. Hitting our fletching goal. 27 fletching. Huge. We can now fletch oak shields. So let's go ahead and do that. There we go, our new best in slot shield and a chunk task complete. Looks kind of dope though. That looks great. There's one other goal that we need the bronze axe to hit, and that is some fire making levels. So let's just jam through these real quick. Boom, bam, bonk, bop, boop, boing, doot, boing. 10 fire making, 11 fire making, boop. Sorry, I forgot what I was doing there for a second. Boop, boing, and there we go, 15 fire making. Only took a sec. We can now burn oak logs, so let's go ahead and do that. That's the log chopped, and that is the log burned. And there we go. There's another chunk task complete. I think it's time to move on to something else. Here's 20 defense, which might clue you into what we're doing next. With the oak shield, I'm one step closer to my pre-dwarf best in slot, but there's one more item I need. The steel med helm from the soldiers. It's a 1 in 128 drop, so I'm gonna need to train up my combats a bit before I go back for more soldier kills. Nice clean 20 prayer. There's 25 defense, and that was interesting, whatever just happened there. And I'm always pretty religious about raking whenever I walk by the patch. There's 14 farming. Okay, Quizmaster random, let's go. We just got the mystery box. Let's see if we get lucky. I'm feeling good. No. Here's some combat milestones. We got 35 strength. There's 30 defense, 25 attack, and 25 prayer. Nice. Another quiz. Let's see what's up this time. We have succeeded at the quiz. You receive a mystery box, and it contains an easy clue scroll. Huh? Yeah, no. 30 attack. That's adamant weapons. By the way, I've received some comments, dare I say some allegations, saying my style is similar to Settled. Whatever you do, do not compare me to Settled. I would hate to be called similar to my favorite YouTuber. That would really hurt my feelings if you left a comment saying how I'm basically just as cool and smart and handsome as Settled. But if you do, you should also subscribe. And there's a nice looking level, 40 strength. We can wield rune warhammers. No kidding. And there's 35 hit points. Definitely actually becoming a serious battler here. Of course, I've been collecting all the drops from the men, and we've got 300 mine runes banked. That looks really nice. Well, I guess we unlocked 7s as a new max hit. That is really good, as I can one-shot these guys now. Let's go. Yo, let's freaking go. We we got the lamp brother. Putting that shit into agility. And this should be some more fishing XP. That'd be pretty cool. 650, we're at level 10 fishing. That's awesome. These fishing levels are actually pretty important because of the potential for the fishing trawler. There's 15 farming, grow oak trees, and yeah, gonna be able to plant some seeds eventually. And we got another Evil Bob fishing random for 13 fishing. Very nice. We just need one more of those, and I think we'll be good for fishing trawler. Level 30 prayer. I am very holy. Kills, man. All right, with some improvements made to the combat stats, base 30s, got 45 strength, 38 hit points. We're just a lot stronger than we were before. I say it's time to head back to the soldiers and see if we can start working on their drop table, and we might actually find ourselves another gear upgrade. So let's jump on that now. We got some pies. Let's do it. Bruh, that's a lot of steel long swords. Oh, and there's a blood rune. That's another pretty rare drop. And we've got an iron ore and nature runes in the inventory. We're making pretty good progress on the drop tables over here. Okay, weirdly, earth runes were one of the last things I was waiting for from these guys. So now we literally just need one more drop, the most important drop, the steel med helm. Hey, we got our first boots. Looking kind of nice. I don't mind those. Oh, let's go. Finally, holy shit. That took like 4 hours. Oh my God, finally, the steel med helm. Look at me. Oh man, that actually looks kind of awful. That is so funny, but look, now I match my brothers. Look at us. In honor of completing the soldier drop table, it's time for another fun Yanille fact. This time, tower guards. I've talked a lot about the drops from these soldiers, but how about these tower guards? These guys mostly hang out over here at the watchtower and annoyingly prevent you from going up the ladder. It turns out they have identical drop tables to the soldiers. You might think they'd basically just be copies of each other at that point, given that they have the exact same combat level and have the same drops, but 2001 Gower design strikes again, as these two NPCs have marginally different stats. The biggest difference is the tower guard's much larger defense against slash, which is bad for me, so I've never even killed one. Alright, back to the chunker. The pre-dwarf best in slot has been achieved. This will be the gear that I wear for quite a while to come. Also, pre-dwarf best in slot is really funny to say, but you might be wondering what I actually mean by that. Well, I've been concocting a plan. I need more bronze bars to train range in the future, so I want to kill more dwarves. With higher smithing levels, I may eventually be able to craft myself some more armor. But to kill dwarves, I need runes. I'm gonna make a goal of casting 1000 strike spells to not only get more bars, but also get started on my magic training. This means I need to kill a lot more men for their mind rune drops, so let's get to it. And this is gonna be man kill number 3000, or at least tracked man kill number 3000. Done some on mobile. There we go, 3000 men. I will put the loot tracker up on the screen right now. We can kind of see where we're at. Hey, and there we go. There's 50 strength. That's a level I've been waiting for quite a while. We can officially hit 8s right now, which is pretty good. We're gonna train up some more attack, just get more consistent. And then defense, probably go for 40s, maybe even go for 50s, we'll see. Yo, is that back-to-back mine runes? Let's go triple back-to-back mine runes. Aw. I got a comment that mentioned the beginner clue step I had in the bank, and this is a step in somewhere pretty far from everywhere I can go. They said I should drop it, and that I should actually try to get a clue step somewhere at the wizard's tower, because I may end up there sooner than anywhere else with the beginner clue step, so that seems like a good idea. We'll try to find a wizard's tower beginner clue step. Just checking in to say there's level 35 attack. Let's go! Yes, 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 yes. And we're right there with the chest. There we go, more air runes adding to our 1000 casts goal. And we've got another Quizmaster random for... Oh my god, you guys, we get the Yanille only casket! No way! Holy shit. That was 40 coins. Shout out to this guy. I love it when people come visit me in the man house.
Brother, you Yanille lock iron?
Yes, sir.
Sweet, enjoy murder.
There's level 40 attack. Yet another quiz random for a cabbage. Not good. The mind rune stack grows. Very nice. We're finally over 700 mind runes. Whoa, what the? Yeah, this is She's Reborn. I met him once before, and then he showed up looking like this.
Real nice.
The fit is truly next level.
Every visit shall be more spectacular than the laster.
And there's 45 attack. Do you ever just kill a man so hard that he, stays dead?
And here's the last kill for 5,000 men with a Ranar. Nice. I'm gonna take a tiny break from this and do some more thieving, as I do need more air runes, and I'm kind of hoping for some more maze randoms. 46 thieving. There's 47 thieving.
It may look like I'm staring at a wall, but there's actually a barrel on the other side of this wall right here that I can click on. And let me show you what I've got here. This is what I call the triple beer drinking tech. I don't know, I'm still working on the name.
There's 48 thieving. Proceeding nicely. We're almost 20% of the way done. So it isn't a chunk goal, but I thought it'd be fun to make some cakes that I had the materials for lying around. So let's go ahead and do that. And I burnt one. That's not the best. Well, we made a cake and we made a chocolate cake. I don't think I've ever seen a burnt cake in my entire life. There's 49 thieving. This is very slow. Extremely slow. Well, we got a ring. Didn't have one of those before, so now we do. Guys, I think it's a hack. There's now 3 men. Wait, no, it's just Cheese Reborn. It's an impressive cosplay, I'll give him that.
What do you think you're doing? Well, back to it.
Did that man just transform into a drunk clown? 100,000 thieving XP.
That is a lot of pickpockets. By the way, during this time, the Region Locker RuneLite plugin that creates this darkened border around my chunk was down, as a recent game update broke it. It was quickly fixed, and I just want to give a huge shout out to Slay to Stay, who created the plugin, and Hooder, who recently took over maintaining it. On top of that, I realized I never acknowledged Source Chunk, who created the chunk picker that we all know and love. Without these talented individuals, we wouldn't have the tools to create the one chunk content that you all love, so definitely show them some appreciation.
And there's kind of a big one, 50 thieving. That is pretty exciting. You might think I'm pretty close to 65, though I would unfortunately have to inform you that I am actually less than 1/4 of the way there.
Oops. That's 51 thieving.
And we've got another maze. Okay. If you come to the Josh Isn't Gaming channel on youtube.com specifically for new ways to exploit the maze random, well, guess what? Because you're in luck. Yet another discovery has been made to increase the number of runes I can get out of this random event. A Chunk Discord member sent this PSA that hopping to a non-member's world while inside a maze random rerolls the attack and defense potions, increasing the likelihood of getting any other item from 1 in 10 to 1 in 8. This was confirmed later to also work in members-only chunks by just switching back to a member's world at 1% maze timer. Alright, we are at the end of this maze, so I think I'm just gonna click this chest, and then I should be able to log out, and if I do this right, I won't get teleported to Lumbridge, because that's where you go if you mess it up. And we'll just log back in, and this should port us right back to Yanille. Yeah, there we go. Very nice. Let's check the spoils. That was actually about half as many air runes as I expected to get that time, which kinda sucks, but it's okay.
Where there rock.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
A back-to-back maze that is genuinely insane. How do we get these? I don't get it. That's insane. Also, if you're ever stupid like me and accidentally click through the dialogue, you can just click the chest again to keep the timer paused. Just a PSA for you. And the final one is air runes. I love that. I think that's the first time that's happened. That's awesome. That just feels so good. So now we log out and we'll switch back to a member's world. And let's take a look. I'm really excited to see. That is some really nice runes. The bronze arrows, that's annoying. But it turns out that was exactly the right amount to get us to 1,000 air runes. That's amazing. And now we just need some more mine runes and we can start killing our 1,000 dwarves. 37 prayer, the first overhead unlocked. Protection from magic. That is amazing. We are actually making some pretty good gains here. Wow, also I just got this clue and I didn't realize, but it's a Wizard's Tower step, one of the ones I was looking for. But actually, now that I think of it, I don't know if I can get a spade. In fact, I think I can't get a spade. I'm pretty sure I have to drop this. If you know of a way for me to get a spade, let me know in the comments. Honestly, I'm just kind of curious. Yo, dunce random, let's go. We got the Book of Knowledge, yes. Okay, so you may notice that I have a lamp in my inventory and I have this book of knowledge. Now I was gonna try to do some shenanigans where I wait until I get another random to see which one I was gonna use, but I had learned something recently, which is that you can't have 2 books of knowledge in your inventory at the same time, which I'm really glad I know, because if you try to have 2 books at the same time, one just turns into coins, which would have been really sad. So I'm going to just use this one right now on agility, and that means I'm waiting for another book to get my level because we have 13 XP left. So next book means level 2 agility. Jeez, okay. Double clue scroll in one drop. No, and no, but damn, that's something. Well, as you can see in the chat, Giles just gave me a loop half of the key, which I believe is the rarest item on the Surtur random event. So that's good, I guess? I don't really know what to make of that. 50 attack. There we go. Very nice. We can wield granite weapons. Definitely gonna be doing that pretty soon. You know, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do the 50 defense also because I really have access to almost no defensive gear in this chunk. It finally happened. We finally have the Yanille step. We're pretty close to being done with this grind, so I definitely don't expect to get another clue step, but I'll try juggling this in the meantime. Why not? And there was 35 defense. I don't think I'm gonna hit another major milestone before I am done finishing up my mind rune stack. And my prediction was right, because not even just a few minutes later, we get the last mind rune that I was looking for. So why don't we go ahead and add this to the stack in the bank. Now we have 1,000 errands and 1,000 mind runes, and we are set up for 1,000 casts of various spells, so we're gonna definitely get on that. But before that, I think it's time for another fun Yanille fact. If I were to show you this, what would you call it? I'll give you a moment to think about your answer. All right, time's up. Let me guess, you probably said it's a door. Maybe you even looked at the surrounding buildings which have similar objects on them, all called doors. Unfortunately, in the case of the man house here in Yanille, you would be wrong. This, my friends, is a large door. It's a regular sized door. This is what an actual large door looks like, by the way. And while we're on the topic of doors, I thought you might be amused to know that you can do this. Help. All right, with 1,000 casts banked, it's time to move on to Operation Dwarf Slayer. As a quick reminder, I need all the bar and ore drops I can get from these guys if I'm gonna smith knives to train all the way to level 50 ranged. This means killing a lot of dwarves. But behind the scenes, I've been working on a plan to make this grind much easier. What I noticed from my last few attempts was that I would get pulled out of my chunk by dwarves moving out of range while I cast on them. I needed a way to stop myself from moving off my 1 tile wide strip where I could safely lure the dwarves. The solution? Well, let me introduce you to my friend Skeldor. Skeldor is another chunk content creator, but he's also one of those RuneLite plugin wizards. I reached out to him with my problem and he got right to work making an incredible plugin for the chunk and tileman community. Hold your ground. If you want all the details, go check out his plugin release video and watch his Chunk Foliar series while you're on his channel. But for my purposes, this plugin let me put in my max range, and now it'll stop me from using a spell on an enemy who isn't in my line of sight. I also turned on the line of sight plugin to visualize the range, which was really useful as I didn't realize that line of sight spreads out like this. After some testing, I thought I had it all figured out, but I had no idea just how wrong I was. Here's a video I sent to Skeldor at 2:23 a.m. after a long night of testing. I'm thinking I have solved the dwarf issue. This dwarf seems to spawn here every time. I can hit him from within my chunk. I kill him, he spawns back there, and because he spawns stationary, it gives me what seems like a pretty good chance to almost always hit him while he's still stationary. Got like a tick or so, and I don't chase after him if he moves. Now, I wasn't entirely wrong. That dwarf does always spawn there, but... What? Wait, what the... Oh no, wait, is that the wrong dwarf? Wait, what happened? It was here that I uncovered a Runescape mechanic that I had never heard of before. Apparently, there's a chance for NPCs to walk before they even spawn, effectively spawning them on a different tile, and they start moving immediately.
Doing some independent research, I found it to be about a 1 in 6 chance that they would do this. This means that my spawn killing method only works for an average of 6 shots in a row before I have to reset the lure, which can take some time. Thankfully, as I was working through this grind, I had some handsome gentlemen drop by and give me a hand. Shout out to my man GX here who offered to help me with some dark lures. I didn't want to bring an alt to help with this, but I'll never turn down help from the community. And of course, you know who it is. Cheese shows up to spec out any dwarves who wander off, helping me reset the lure position.
This was genuinely super helpful, but I still had 1,000 spells to cast on these guys. To work around the inconsistencies of the respawn mechanics, I had to seriously focus on learning how these dwarves work. So I studied their ways, their movement. I learned their culture and lifestyle. Eventually, I became a dwarf hunting master. I even began developing advanced techniques. And as it turns out, shooting 1,000 spells gets you quite a few magic levels. Dwarf montage? Dwarf montage.
And there's 6 magic, there's level 7 magic, 8 magic. Also, I haven't acknowledged the shape of this yet, but yeah. And there's 9 magic. That's actually insanely massive because we can now switch from Water Strike to Earth Strike, so that is really good.
Also, there are still many flubbed kills like this in here, and when this happens, I do not finish the kill. I usually drop the dwarf by either world hopping or running away.
And there is level 10 magic, and there's 11 magic, 13 magic. We have unlocked Fire Strike. Not sure if or when I'll be using Fire Strike in the near future. Oh, 2 bronze bars. That's so good. There's 15 magic. Hey, and there's a big level 40 defense. We can now wear rune armor. That is so sick. Hey, level 17 magic. That is the level for Windbolt. We just unlocked chaos runes. Oh my god. Maze time.
Yet another evil Bob random event for some more fishing XP. Hey, 15 fishing. This is amazing. This means we can get to fishing trawler. That is so huge. That's actually so good. You see some weird stuff in the south wall, Yanille. There's 19 magic. We can cast Curse now.
20 magic. There's 21 magic for low-level alchemy. What the a ruby? I don't even want to know what the drop rate of that is.
We just shot off the 500th spell, meaning we are halfway through this grind now, but we're gonna take a break from the regularly scheduled dwarf murder for a detour to something very delightful, so let's go take a look. So a few weeks ago, there was a Reddit post that mentioned this pond right here, saying there should be a duck added to it. Well, Jagex might not be willing to make this type of game-breaking change, but I know a guy who is. Yet again, Skeldor is on the job, releasing the Duck Duck Goose plugin, which puts ducks where they should and shouldn't be. Again, go check his channel for the plugin release video. It's great.
Wait a minute, this isn't Prop Hunt.
So if you turn this plugin on, there we go. Ducks. And they're doing something? Anyway, thanks Skeldor, and thanks to the original poster for the idea. Yanille is now truly complete. Anyway, back to the dwarves. 25 magic. I can now cast teleport to Varrock, so I can teleport away from these f***ing dwarves who are ruining my life. There's 45 defense.
There's 27 magic. We can enchant emerald jewelry. That's exciting.
Shout out to Nova Chunker who just got 60 fletching. 28 magic. Levels are getting much further apart now. So now that we're toward the end of this grind, I think it's time I talk about some of the advanced dwarf luring techniques I mentioned earlier. This is what I like to call the double dwarf stack. Now the double dwarf stack is getting a lot easier now that I understand their pathing a little better, but there's one important element of the double dwarf stack, which is that the back dwarf needs to be the dwarf that spawns right here that I'm chaining. Because if I kill him first, and then I'm still fighting this guy, there's a good chance that he'll walk away before I kill the other guy. So I have to chain the double dwarf stack with a other dwarf, usually this dwarf that spawns over here, and then the main dwarf. So that is some hot dwarf tech for you. Another improvement made to the original plan is that when the main dwarf I'm spawn killing does the weird spawn walking thing, I'll switch over to this other dwarf, as he tends to walk along this diagonal line of sight, so I can usually get at least one kill by the time the main dwarf walks back into taggable range. This is the high-risk double dwarf stack. I have the secondary dwarf aggroed behind the tree, and I need to get my spell cast in during the few ticks it takes him to walk to me. Otherwise, I won't be able to tag the other dwarf since it's not a multi-combat zone. Oh my god. This day has only been spoken of in legends. The coveted triple dwarf tech. No one has seen it until just now. Sorry. I apologize. This is really good. We got the second book of knowledge. With this book, we will have level 2 agility. That is so good. And now we can use this lamp on agility. And we are already a good chunk of the way in. That is so good. Got a special little moment here. There we go. 40 prayer. Very nice. Protection from missiles unlocked. I didn't even notice, but I was also 500 total level at the same time. That's so sick. It has been over 5 hours of straight killing dwarves, and we are so close, but I think I'm going to take a little break and finish this up later. And with only 13 casts left, we have level 30 magic. Pretty good level to end off on. All right, and this is the very last magic shot to finish up this round of dwarf kills. Let's see if we can make it work. We can. Beautiful. A beautiful double dwarf to end off the grind. Love that. And with no more mind runes, no more air runes, that is the end of quite a long grind. Let's go take a look at the bank, see where we're at. Here's the bank, and I'll put the overall loot tracker on the screen right now. Thanks to Mr. GX, we ended up with well over 1,000 kills, despite the fact that I screwed up tons of my casts and had to relure. Now, this may seem like a lot, but I ran some calculations, and it looks like I'm gonna need to kill 4,000 dwarves to be able to smith the bars for 50 range. Here where the stats are sitting, we more than doubled our total levels since last episode, most of which came from combat stats. And here's the status on the chunk tasks. We completed the wood cutting and fletching tasks after gaining access to an axe. We also made some real progress toward our magic and thieving goals and got our very first agility level. That's actually really exciting. Not to spoil anything, but you might be surprised to know that at this point, I'm about halfway through my entire agility lamping goal. As always, I hope you enjoyed this episode and the original music I created for it. If you want to listen to the soundtrack, there's a link to the playlist in the description. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. You're not going to want to miss what's coming up. Welcome back to Yanille, my chunky home. I'm trying to complete just about everything in this area before rolling a new chunk. Since one of my goals is 50 range to wield the hunter's crossbow, I calculated that I'm gonna have to kill 4,000 dwarves for the bars and ores needed to train up to that level using knives. But right now, I'm gonna focus on a different skill. My thieving level is 51 and it needs to be 65 so that I can pickpocket a watchman. Not too bad, right? The only issue is that I can only train by pickpocketing men, 8 XP at a time. The soldiers and tower guards don't have a pickpocket option. Even from the level that I'm at now, that's still over 40,000 pickpockets to go. I'm estimating this grind will take around 40 or 50 hours in total, which is actually kind of ideal because it helps me work toward one of my other goals, the agility lamping goal. I'm actually about halfway through my lamping goals, so hopefully I can get blessed with some more XP randoms while becoming Yanille's most renowned burglar. There's the first level of the episode, 52 thieving.
53 thieving!
And as you can see from my inventory, I switched from drinking beers to eating all the apple pies I made a few episodes ago. If I'm gonna pickpocket this man 40,000 times, I'm gonna need to save my sanity wherever I can. Damn, I thought I was gonna miss that maze, holy shit. Well, that's good, there's another maze for us. And I lost the footage for this part, but here's 20 farming. That's almost halfway to 28, which is our chunk farming goal. And that's a really clean number, 150,000 thieving XP. That's almost exactly 1/3 of the way to the goal. It's a lot of thieving left to go though. Also, just a quick reminder as to why I have this man cornered behind the piano. I showed off in a past episode that these men will never naturally walk along these tiles, which means that if I attack one and lure him back here, he'll never leave this little area. This corner by the piano just so happens to be the perfect spot as he'll never move and I can just spam click to my heart's content.
And just a couple hundred XP later, we get 54 thieving.
Santa is here to support your grind. What would you like for April Christmas?
Approximately 30,000 clicks of this man being down now laughing.
Trying to will that RN.
Keep willing. I think it's working.
I asked and you guys delivered. I had a bunch of friends show up and help me out with luring some dwarves. This is just the beginning of this. Having these lures is going to help me get to 4,000 dwarves much faster. Also, thanks for whatever this is. Bada boom, 50 defense. And that is base 50s in the combats. And we have 50 hit points, wow. All right, we're ending this first session off with over 1,400 dwarves, which is a major dent in the grind. So I was just recently informed that the Tool Leprechaun will actually note my weeds. I had been carrying these around with me when I was too lazy to go to a bank, but he will apparently note them for you. I thought he only did that for crops, but no, he'll note your weeds. There's 55 thieving. And there is 56 thieving. Because one of my main goals right now is getting XP randoms, I've decided to just start up with some woodcutting and fletching in the background when I need to AFK and do some editing. I may show some woodcutting levels along the way. We're also doing some fletching along the way just to make it worth my while. There's level 40 woodcutting. There's 21 farming. And there we go, a clean 200k thieving XP. That's looking amazing. Very suspicious activity. 57 thieving. Yeah, grubby chest time, guys. Woo! Nice. I almost missed this genie. I was looking away, getting my Discord server set up. There's the lamp for some more agility XP. 20. Wow, it goes so much faster now. That's amazing. By the way, the Discord server is now fully set up, and if you aren't in it, you should join it. The Discord link is in the description of this video. If you join, you can see when I go live on Twitch, which is something I've been doing more often lately, so definitely come hang out in the Discord. No way, back-to-back genie. Oh man. That is so good. Let's go. Put that onto agility. And look at that, we're one book away from level 3 agility already. That is amazing. Oh my god, another genie? I haven't even gotten a thieving level yet. This is insane. So because we're 1 XP book away from level 3 agility, I think I'm gonna hang on to this lamp until I get a book. That way I get the most XP out of every lamp. There's 59 thieving. Very nice. Dude, another genie? What is going on? I guess I'm just gonna have to save this lamp too. This last weed rake here will get us to 22 farming. Very nice. Definitely been spending a lot of time AFKing here at the tree patch and raking weeds in the meantime. What is this luck? That's just back-to-back just now. What is happening? 3 lamps in my inventory? This is insane. For once, this man is finally not inviting me to do a maze, which is very sad, but that's okay. And there is a big one. 60 thieving has been achieved. That is super good. We are just over the halfway mark here. To mark this milestone, I've got a fun Yanille fact for you all. Standing here thieving this man for so long, I've really had time to look at my surroundings, which brought my attention to something I've been curious about ever since I arrived here in Yanille. This hole. It's pretty mysterious. Examining it just confirms that yes, it is in fact a hole. I've tried dropping things down it, but that doesn't seem to work, so I did some investigation. It was hard trying to find information on such an ambiguous piece of scenery, and I had just about given up until one day I was looking into the ogre city of Gutanoth, thinking about future chunk rolls. You know these weird scavid caves? If you actually bring a light source in a scavid map, you may discover that one of these scavid caves has a one-way exit to Yanille, and you pop up out of this hole. So there you have it. The mystery of the hole explained. Not really as exciting as I wanted it to be, but, you know, neither is anything in this area. All right, we've got a quizmaster here. Let's see what this is. This could be huge. No! Whoops, and we just passed 300,000 thieving XP, nearing our way to level 61 thieving. This is taking an extremely long time, but you know we're gonna get there and it's gonna be good. Level 61 thieving, let's go. Also, I don't know if I've talked about this little number here yet, but this is a plugin called the NPC Idle Timer. If you don't know, any NPC that's trapped and can't move for 5 full minutes will despawn and reappear at their spawn tile. This shows how long until that happens, meaning I basically never have to relure these guys. What the? Who is running in the what? What the? I got a visit from everybody's favorite Northman, and we had a deep conversation about this man that I've been thieving here.
You're not here to judge, just to rob.
Damn, those men really started hitting a lot harder. Have you ever been busy robbing a man blind and a snowball fight breaks out? And this pickpocket should be 62 thieving. Woo! There's level 40 fletching. And I just got flax for the first time ever on this account from a random event, which means that when I eventually do get access to a spinning wheel, I can make myself a bowstring to make myself a bow. And there's 23 farming, making progress on the 28 farming goal. And we are back to the maze random luck. Let's go. Be back with you after I'm done. And did you think that after 3 episodes in a row of further optimizations of the maze random event that I'd be all out? You thought I was done? You underestimate how many nerds I'm friends with because there's a new plugin by Skeldor called Amazing Chest. Check it out. It shows you how long until the chest closes and pings you with a notification when it does. For anyone who's ever done this, you know how much easier this will make your life, so huge shout out to Skeldor for making this one for the community. And I actually feel like I did kind of insanely well on errands this time, which is really exciting, so let's see what we've got. 225 errands? Oh my god! That is absurd. That's by far the most I've ever gotten. That's so good. And the rune tab is already looking very tight again, like 481 errands. That's a ton of XP. All right, back at the pickpocketing, these coins should get me 50,000 GP in the inventory. This has been a long time of thieving, so we're gonna take a break, and actually, I think I've got some friends coming to help me with some dwarves, so hopefully that'll be the next thing you see right now. And here we are yet again at the border. We're starting this dwarf session off with 1,470 dwarf kills, so let's see where we go from there. And the spoils from another dwarf session, another good handful of bars, runes, and ores. Really nice stuff. Thanks guys for helping out. Yo, another genie. Always love to see these guys. Whoa, that was a back-to-back strange plant. That's actually pretty sick. We're stocking up on those. I think that might be 10 strange fruits. There is 63 thieving. Just 2 more to go. I'm so ready to be done with this, but that is so good. 63 thieving. This can be a long level. Oh, God. All right, I did manage to find a mystery box from a quiz random, so let's see if we can get something good from this. There's some really good rewards on this, so let's hope for something good. 1 body rune. Definitely not what I was hoping for, but you know, I'll take my first body rune. Sure, why not? We'll start the stack. Whoa, back-to-back quiz randoms. That's kind of crazy. Let's see what we get from this. Second chance at something good from a mystery box. You can see the body rune is still right there in the chat, so it has not been very long. Let's see what we get. Myth Scimitar. I shouldn't have said that thing about starting the body rune stack. Okay, did you see that? Let's watch that again. See this? These imps spawn inside this room all the time, and every time they do, I think it's a dunce random event, and it's never a dunce random event, and it really pisses me off. And this is 400,000 thieving XP right on the dot. That is exactly 50,000 pickpockets. The end of this grind is finally within sight. That's 64 thieving. Just 1 more level to go now, and we will be freed from this prison of robbery. Okay, I do genuinely appreciate all of these genies. I need these, but I really need a tons. And there is 24 farming, another farming level. Each one of these feels exciting at this point. Oh my god. It's happening. Yes, yes. Oh, my heart is beating. It's been so long since I've gotten this. You know what time it is now.
it's time for so many levels. Book of Knowledge for 30 XP, level 3 agility. Yes, this is so good. And then all of our lamps, we just get to dump them into agility, 30 XP, 30 more, 30 more, 30 more, and we're so level 4 agility too. Yes, this is so good. And we have one more lamp to drop onto agility, which puts us 53 XP away, dude. That's so good. That's 2 lamps or 1 book of knowledge. That is so good. And let me just add that there is something very special at level 5 agility. I'm going to rake these weeds and calm down a little bit because I'm a little too excited right now. Just hit 42 fletching, which normally I wouldn't show, but it's actually kind of a weirdly relevant level. We can make long kebbit-tipped bolts, which is the actual only thing that you can fire from the hunter's crossbow. So eventually that actually may be a thing I do. And willow shields, which means when I do eventually roll willows, I'll immediately be able to do the highest willow fletching challenge. Here you're witnessing an advanced technique called slide thieving, necessary to employ when the man is near his 5-minute despawn timer. This gives the man the opportunity to move so he won't despawn while I can continue to thieve him. This guy that just showed up is definitely some kind of weird bot, as it keeps doing this thing where it switches from its scimitar to a staff and back really fast. Like that. I don't know what this bot is. Here we are, 50 plus hours and tens of thousands of clicks later, about to hit level 65 thieving. I streamed this milestone over on Twitch, so if you'd like to hang out for this type of thing in the future, the link is in the description and you can join my Discord for a ping when I go live. Anyway, here's the level. Last pick. Here we go. Woo! 65 thieving, we can now pickpocket from watchmen. So we can't actually do it yet because the watchmen are in the watchtower and it requires level 18 agility to get to them. So I'm gonna put this task on pause for now rather than calling it finished. Here's the actual number of men pickpocketed over the course of this grind. 56,179 pickpockets. And this is the final cash stack from this grind, 186k. After that, the stream turned into some more good old dwarf slaying. Bronze bar, and that is the 100th bronze bar on the account. Yo, iron bar. These drops are excellent right now, you guys. Oh, this is my punishment. To celebrate the end of the thieving grind, I've got another fun Yanille fact for you guys. Although, this one is less like a fun Yanille fact and more like fun Yanille math, I guess. I've gotten a lot of comments about not doing the 99 magic skill cape grind. Well, I've done some math to take a look at what that grind would actually require. Let's take another insane chunk challenge and use it as a benchmark. It took Limpwurt 58 in-game days to kill 500,000 men to get to level 99 defense in Lumbridge. That's about 35 weeks of 40 hours a day. Whoa, 40 hours a day? What kind of idiot would say that? Let's just fix that. If I were to get 99 magic, the best source of runes would be the wizards in the Wizard Guild. Based on this data calculated by a Discord user, it would require killing about 830,000 wizards to get the runes to go from level 66 to level 99 magic. Let's compare that to Limpwurt's grind. We're killing around 66% more NPCs, so that's 60 weeks. Then they have twice as much HP, so that's 120 weeks. Then we actually have to cast all the runes as spells, mostly on this guy who gives increased XP rates on strike spells. Based on this chart, I've calculated it would take about 10 more weeks if you were somehow able to keep up casting your best spell constantly, which is definitely impossible, so this is an underestimate. That brings us to 130 weeks of 40 hours a week, or 2.5 years of full-time wizard killing to get 99 magic. Using more realistic XP rates, this would likely take twice as long as it took Limpwurt to do everything in his first chunk. So, there you have it. If you'd like the next episode to come out in 2026, this is how you get that. So, now that I'm done with my arthritis simulator for now, there's one more major goal to hit before I can call this episode complete. I want to shift my focus completely to my goal of killing 4,000 dwarves. This should ensure that I have enough bars and ores to smith myself the supplies I'll need to reach 50 ranged. Having the community's help has been amazing, but I know I can't rely on them entirely, so I'll be farming some more mine runes to do some solo luring again when people aren't available. If you remember from last episode, my methods for this are not ideal, but they work if needed. hopefully I'll get a lot of help along the way. Very nice. Yet another mystery box from that. Let's take a look. Could it be the Mithril Scimitar or something else good? It is an old boot. That sucks. I've been so unlucky with these. That guy just dropped nothing? Like, not even bones? This is a kind of funny troll because, I mean, I could just go buy this many Hunter's Crossbows from the store. They're not hard to get. I've got a little update for you here in the dwarf luring world. So we've been developing a new technique here where the lurer will run behind this tree, which allows the dwarves to face me sooner, meaning that the lurer can go pick up another dwarf more quickly, which chains dwarves a little bit faster. And it's a pretty nice upgrade to the method that we've been using before, so yeah, we're theory crafting even this stupid luring technique. Okay, I missed the exact milestone, but we are now just over 2,000 dwarves, so we are halfway to the dwarf goal. There's 42 prayer while we're getting these dwarves. One level away from a rather large prayer unlock. Finishing up my overheads is in sight. There was 65 combat. That's a nice looking level. Doing some dwarves with friends here. Time for another maze. Perfect timing to get some more air runes for this dwarf luring that I'm going to be doing here in the near future. Teleport back. Let's take a look at the spoils. Not too shabby, I suppose. 105 air runes. That's pretty significantly underrate, but last time was really over, so I'm not going to be mad. It's another 2 hours of my life I'll never get back, but those are some good runes. And here we go, one last bone for a massive prayer level. 43 prayer, let's go. Protection from melee is now unlocked on the account. That is all of the protection prayers. That is a huge milestone. We're definitely gonna be using that down the line. I have some creative ways to be able to restore some prayers, so very cool. Just finished up another dwarf session and we're at a nice clean 2,500 dwarves. The progress on this is coming along very nicely. That'd be nice to have. Dang. What the hell? A nature talisman? Oh god, I'm gonna have to look up the drop rate on that. That is crazy. I've never gotten one of those before on this account. Look who decided to show up. The man himself, the plugin creator, Skeldor dropped by to help out with some dwarf luring. Alright, we've got another mystery box here. This could be the one. This could be the one. Let's see what we got. Oh my god! That's actually good! No way, dude, what? Yo, the steel plate body. Oh my god, that's actually good. Look at me. Oh, what a beast. This thing literally triples my defense bonuses. That's so good. Oh my god, that's huge. Now we know what the look will be for the next era of this account. I've got a beginner clue on the ground here. Let's take a look. Got a lot of these, but is it the one? Hey, it's actually the one that I've been looking for. This is the one I can do in the Wizard's Tower. That's awesome. All right, well, I'm going to keep that, I guess. That's really cool. Finally. Had to throw away like hundreds of these. And there is a big level 60 strength. Beautiful. And there's a combat level with it also. All right, and that was the 3,000th dwarf kill. Very nice. We are super close to the end of this grind now. Huge shout out to everyone who's been helping me out. All right, after that last dwarf session, we are currently sitting at 3,600 dwarves. Thanks to my killing men on my off time, I have over 500 casts to lure dwarves on my own, so I think it's time to gear up and get back to some solo luring. I'll finish this dwarf grind up the way I started it. I'm officially back on my and we are 100 kills in. We are at 3,700 dwarf kills right now, making our way towards the final goal. And that was a magic level right there, 31 magic. And there's 32 magic, very nice. I think we'll probably get one more magic level before we're done with 4,000 dwarves. And there's a system update in a sec, so I'll have to wait before I can truly finish this up. Ooh, grab this guy. Very nice. I messed up the lure on this guy, so I have to kill him outside of the chunk, but we did just cross over into the last 100 dwarves. We are really close to the end of this grind now. I'm super excited. I'm gonna get to sneak one more level in before the end of the episode. 26 farming. We are now just 2 levels away from the goal level. That will finish that up next episode for sure. Wow, that dwarf just spawned off of his normal tile, but I still got him. I don't think I've ever done that before. That was kind of cool. I'm just a handful of kills away now, and I've been getting tin ore, which is the thing that I want the most. This last inventory is totally going to pad the loot tracker. That's awesome. And there is a level just before we're done with the end of this grind. We literally have 3 more dwarves to kill, but that is 33 magic. That's the level for telekinetic grab, which we're actually going to use a ton coming up here. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but this is the final dwarf. This is the last one for 4,000 dwarf kills. This is insane. And there he goes. Down he goes. 4,000 dwarf kills. We did it. Finally, I can turn off all of my plugins and the game can just look normal again, and I never have to lure another dwarf in my life. To celebrate the end of the dwarf grind, I've got something very special here. I've been hanging on to my mystery boxes that I've been getting from quiz randoms just as a little reward for myself when we're finally done. So I'm going to open these up here, and the hope is that I get a mithril scimitar, which would absolutely change the future of this account. It's so much better than my other options, so let's hope for that, but there's also some other good and really rare options, so let's see what we get. First one, a casket with an emerald in it. All right, that's fine, I guess. The second one, come on, mithril scimitar. Nothing, no! All right, last chance. Please, please be something good. What? A tooth have the key? That's so rare. No, that's so much rarer than the mithril scimitar. Oh, come on. Oh, well. Here's the final loot tracker for the dwarves. Ending off with the absolute perfect cash total of 420k, we got a ton of great loot, including almost 100 tin, which is going to be super important to start the smithing journey, but we'll talk more about that later. We also got really lucky with bronze bars, getting about 10% more than expected. I also wanted to shout out everyone who helped with the dwarf grind. This was no small feat, and many of these people spent hours helping me out. In total, we probably spent at least 20 hours killing dwarves together, so thank you so much to everyone on this list. So, with 4,000 dwarves under my belt, I've hopefully got the ores and bars to smith up to 50 ranged. There's just one problem. To start smithing, I need to superheat my ores, and superheat requires level 43 magic. I'm still a ways off from that, and training magic is currently insanely slow as I have to wait for maze randoms to give me my air runes. So, what's next for the account? Well, there was one part of the 65 thieving stream that I didn't show you. I was saving it for the end because it quite literally changes everything. And this book of knowledge, right here, when put onto agility, gets us 5 agility. That is it. That's the level that I've been looking for so long. There is a very particular use for that. These rocks require 5 agility, and climbing them gives me 25 agility XP, which means I now have a consistent way to train agility. That's right. Level 5 agility lets me use this extremely obscure obstacle to begin agility training. So, next episode, we're unlocking an entirely new area. Welcome back to Yanille, where today we'll be looking at the many odd and unknown ways to train agility in the city, among other things. Hopefully, we'll be unlocking a lot of new areas, methods, and monsters to kill. That means new loot, including a melee weapon upgrade, and my best source of runes in the whole chunk. To quickly recap, here are the chunk tasks. Last episode, we hit one of our skilling goals, 65 thieving to pickpocket a watchman, but we couldn't actually complete the task because the watchmen are in the watchtower, which I can't access just yet. We also took on the massive grind of luring and killing 4,000 dwarves for smithing supplies. These will hopefully turn into enough knives to reach level 50 ranged. But before we can start smithing, I need 10 magic levels to unlock superheat items since half of my supplies are ores. That will be one of the big goals for this episode alongside agility. Speaking of which, last time we left off, I showed you that I had finally lamped my agility to level 5. Why does this matter? Well, it's because of these weird rocks here. They're actually an agility shortcut that requires level 5, but they're kind of bizarre. They don't even have an animation, you just teleport through the wall and get 25 agility XP. Also, they're not even marked on the map like these other shortcuts. And they're like 10 tiles away from another shortcut that does the exact same thing, except the rocks are one way. Weirdness aside, the fact that they give 25 XP per climb means I have a repeatable agility training method, so let's get some levels. My dude will run all the way around the entire wall. I think I'm gonna time this and see how long it takes. All right, that took 38 seconds. 38 seconds per 25 agility XP. Oh, and that was with run energy. So without run energy, that's gonna take twice as long. So it's gonna take me a full minute to walk all the way around. That was slow, but there we go. The very first agility level. Level 6 agility. That means we're in a new run energy restore bracket, which is pretty exciting. And there's another one, level 7 agility. Very nice. This is taking a while. 8 agility, 9, level 10 agility, 11, 12, 13, there's 14 agility. All right, and this should be 16, this should be 16 agility. Yes, it is. And that is actually a huge deal because we can now use the agility underwall shortcut in Yanille. I've been waiting so long to climb into hole. Oh, this is gonna feel so good. That all sounded really weird. I'm sorry. Ah, look at that. This is just beautiful. Crawling in a hole like a true Yanille man. These XP rates are about to be just off the charts. Am I too excited to get 25 XP every 10 seconds? Yes. You know, having fun while I'm playing. And here's the first of the last 2 levels I'll be getting here. 17 agility. And here it is. This should be one of the last rock wall climbs because there is 18 agility. Shout out to the climbing rocks here, but their time has come to an end because I now have access to a much better and equally as weird training method. Climbing up this trellis. It gives a whopping 31 agility XP and puts me right here, right next to these guys. Finally, the Watchmen are accessible. They're only level 33. For some reason in my mind, they're higher level than that. I can finish up a goal I've been waiting to complete. Let's pickpocket a Watchman. There we go. And 137 thieving XP. Are you kidding me? And look at their loot. It's really good. 60 coins and a piece of bread? Now, of course, they do catch you very often. I mean, I think my current rate is less than 50%, which is pretty insane. So this will be slow, but it'll be a lot faster than thieving men. Anyway, that's for another time. Right now, I want to check out something that I've been wondering for a long time. I want to see if I can start the Watchtower quest. Okay, we can start the Watchtower quest. That bodes well for the future. Let's just say there will be some uses for a little bit of progress into the Watchtower quest down the line, so keep that in the back of your mind. Anyway, back to the agility grind. Let's take a look at my new method. The new method is climb up the trellis, climb down the ladder, and repeat. Apparently this can give upwards to 10k XP per hour, but I'll probably be looking at more like 4 to 5k since I'll be running out of run energy all the time. Also, apparently this is part of the Runescape 3 meta for training agility, being the best XP from levels 18 to 30. Weird. Hopefully I'll only need to do this until level 40, at which point we gain access to the aforementioned forgotten agility course, but I'll save it until then to go into more detail. For now, another agility level montage. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 agility. Woohoo! These are some great levels. That's a stupid thing to say. 26 agility, 27, 28, 29, and the big 30 agility. We can now use the penguin agility course, which I just recently learned is the fastest way to get the squirrel pet. Did not know that. So I just got this strange fruit here, which is really convenient because oddly enough, these things work as anti-poisons, and there's gonna be a lot of poison where we're going. 31, 32, 33 agility. I haven't really looked at these beds yet. Some sleepy men up here, huh? 34, 35, 36, 37, and that's 38 agility. We actually get something kind of interesting in one more level. Well, I clicked right through it, but that's level 39 agility, which unlocks a very interesting shortcut. The Yanille wall. I can use the grapple now, which obviously I can't do because I don't have access to a crossbow, except the hunter's crossbow that I've been mentioning can actually fire a mithril grapple. So I'll have to do that eventually once I get access to the thing that is stopping me, which is rope. And this is a big one. Level 40 agility. Interesting that they neglect to mention a very important unlock. One might even say that makes it forgotten.
It's finally time to delve into one of the least visited places in all of RuneScape, the Yanille Agility Dungeon. We'll call this part Fun Yanille Agility Dungeon Facts, because I'm gonna tell you a little bit about this place since I'm guessing most of you have never really looked around inside. Now I have to be honest, calling it an agility course is a little wrong. It has obstacles like your typical agility course, but they're all different levels. But also they're not agility shortcuts since you can't get further into the dungeon without using them. That puts the agility dungeon in a unique category all of its own, with the closest thing to compare it to being maybe the agility obstacles in the underground pass. Compelling, I know. Let's take a look at the obstacles. The first is the balance ledge. It requires level 40 agility, gives 22.5 XP per cross, and if you fail, you fail. This place doesn't mess around. You get dropped into a lower level filled with poison spiders whose poison starts at 6, and you take up to 15 damage from the fall. Without 40 agility, you can't proceed further into the dungeon at all, but even just crossing this ledge gains me access to a bunch of interesting things. Next up is the pipe squeeze, which requires 49 agility. It gains you access to this room full of skeletons. Thankfully, you can't fail this one, but it only gives 7.5 XP per cross. The next obstacle is the monkey bars, which require 57 agility and give 20 XP per cross. If you fail, these will also drop you into the poison spider level, but even further from the exit. Crossing these grants access to probably one of the most important things in my entire chunk, the Chaos Druids. We all know these guys are amazing for herbs, but I'll actually be killing them for their excellent rune drops. These will be my main source of magic XP for the rest of the chunk, taking me all the way to 66 magic. Last but not least, there's one more obstacle, this pile of rubble. It can't be failed and gives 5.5 XP per climb, and it requires 67 agility, which is the goal I've had on the chunk task since episode 1. But it's not just an arbitrary goal, because beyond this obstacle is the end boss of the dungeon, who's involved in one of the strangest magic training methods I've ever heard of, but that's for another time. If you enjoy these types of educational deep dives, well, first of all, you're gonna love the rest of this video, but more importantly, leave a comment and let me know, and be sure to subscribe if you aren't already. All right, I am gearing up. It's time to explore the agility dungeon for the first time. I've got my inventory set up with food and an emergency strange fruit in case I get poisoned, which I probably will. Down we go. So yeah. Oh man. I guess I don't really know how this is gonna go. Let's just see if we can get across this. We can, very nice. 22 agility XP, that's not very much. Ideally, I would like this to be my new agility method, but it depends on just how bad it is to fall down. So let's do this until we fall. So far, kind of liking this. I haven't fallen down very much. I don't know what the rates are on this, but they seem to be pretty good. Oh man. And there's the poison. This is what the emergency strange fruit is for. The question is, can we out-heal the poison? That's the big question. If we can't, this might not be particularly feasible. Now I'm going to do something brave. I'm going to bravely use one prayer point. I do believe I have access to a method to restore my prayer. Let's take a look over here. I haven't actually showed you what's going on over here. We've got this chaos altar. I'm pretty sure that if I pray at this, it's gonna dump me in the basement, but it should restore my prayer. So let's see if I'm right. It did restore my prayer, and it dropped me in the basement. It dealt me so much damage. I have no idea how much it was. It was so much. That was so much damage, dude. What was this, like a 15 or something? Oh, but that means I can consistently restore my prayer. What the hell? How is this? I've always seen that as like a pit. What is he standing on? That looks so weird. Okay, it's time to officially test the XP down here. We're gonna see just how long it takes to go through a whole inventory of food and if the XP is better than the trellis. Whoa. Getting stacked out over here. Okay, the food is gone and I'm down to just my emergency strange fruit. Report on the XP rates? Really bad. I think I got 1.5k XP in 15 minutes and ate an entire inventory of cheese potatoes, which heals 16 each. And I'm dying as I do this VO, so I'm just gonna be right back. Let's try it again. Let's just give it one more shot. Don't mind me, guys. Just restoring my prayer here at the Chaos Altar. Oof, 15 damage.
I have been going on this last bit of XP for like so long. All right, if I can just make it back across here, I can't. And I'm starting to fear for my life. At this tick, I'm definitely in kill range. And I have a long time left on this, so let's see if we can get out of here and not die to poison on the way to the bank. Oh god, that was so painfully close.
Well, I literally couldn't get through one agility level down there, and I went through 2 full inventories of food, which, by the way, adds up to 864 points of healing. I definitely don't have the food to sustain that much damage for very long, and I'm not sure the XP is even any better than the trellis, so I think I'm just gonna head back there for now. And there's 41 agility. I'm gonna shoot for 49 before going back to the agility dungeon, because that's when we open up the next piece of content down there. I got a visit from my friend Oldschool Soundscape, who has a series all about RuneScape's many music tracks. We hung out for a bit and I showed him around Yanille, but then I accidentally did this. What the f? I just left my chunk by clicking that. Well, I just unlocked a music track by doing that. I didn't realize it would let me jump down. The funny part is, why did it put me there, right? Why didn't it put me right here? Shout out to Oldschool Soundscape for stopping by, and if you're a music enjoyer, go check out his channel. I linked the episode where you can hear our longer conversation in the description. I think I need to talk to Skeldor about his duck plugin. That's a lot of ducks. I don't know if those are all supposed to be there. And here it is, 49 agility. We can access the Yanille dungeon small room using contortion. Well then, that's one way to put that. So let's go ahead and head down there. And here we are. Let's take a look at our new unlock. This squeeze pipe. Woo! Yeah, 8 XP. Oh my god, these guys are smacking me up. Thankfully, we've got our emergency herring down here. Is it a trap? No, it's just an actual herring. These skeletons have surprisingly good drops for me. The biggest thing I want from this room is an iron scimitar, which is a pretty decent melee weapon upgrade, even over the steel longsword, since it's a tick faster. That's a pretty nice drop right there. 5 chaos runes off these guys. Love to see it. We're going to be using all of our chaos runes on Crumble Undead once we hit level 37 magic and have access to enough air runes to cast all of them. And that's another good drop. These drops are looking a little familiar now. A bronze bar and chaos runes, looking a little like the dwarves. Hey, let's go. And that's another one of the huge drops I've been looking for. Law runes, our very first law runes on the account. There's something I've been very curious to use these law runes on. Not gonna lie, this herring spawn is actually kind of awesome. It's been a lot of healing from eating that same fish. No idea why it's here, but you know, I kind of appreciate it. It's like a friendly herring. Hey, and there is another unique drop. Cosmic runes. These are the only way I can get these in my chunk is from these skeletons. There's one more thing in this room that I haven't mentioned yet, but to talk about it, I want to give you a little RuneScape history lesson as the context is really interesting. Let's go back to 2002. RuneScape Classic is in its 2nd year since launch. It's around this time that many of the skills we now know were added to the game. Herblore, or Herb Law as it was originally called, Thieving, and Agility to name a few. As for Agility, the Yanille dungeon was one of the 3 courses added to the game with the skill's launch, the other 2 being the Gnome and Barbarian courses. One of the things that came with it was this chest called the Sinister Chest. That may ring a bell if you've ever spent time catching magpie implings, as they have a chance to drop the Sinister Key, which, unsurprisingly, opens the Sinister Chest. But back in 2002, the only way to get the key was by reaching level 67 agility to access the end boss of this dungeon, Salarin the Twisted, who is immune to everything except attacks from the mind? I'll let you think about that one. The cool part about the Sinister Chest though, opening it always gives a mix of mid to high level herbs, including 1 Torstal. Upon release, this was the one and only singular way of getting Torstals. Think about that. The only way that Torstals were entering the game was by players getting to level 67 in a brand new skill, traversing a dangerous dungeon, killing a mysterious boss, and opening an inconspicuous chest. Also, to be clear, in RuneScape Classic, there were basically no agility shortcuts and there was no run energy since running wasn't a thing. That meant the agility dungeon was the endgame for agility. You literally trained it so you could access this area and do a couple of quests. Looking back on that era, while I wasn't playing then, I do love this design philosophy in retrospect. The Agility Dungeon combined many of the new skills in one challenging area, full of danger but also full of rewards you couldn't get anywhere else. Don't forget that level 82 thieving allows you to pick the lock to the area by the Chaos Druids, who at the time were likely the best source of herbs in the game. I think in a way, it was actually an early prototype of modern OSRS gameplay patterns. You level up one skill to increase efficiency in another, creating an interwoven web of goals and activities. And while this content is totally dead now, at the time I imagine it was a highly immersive dungeon exploring experience that deserves a little more attention. Anyway, back to the action. I realized I hadn't actually looked over here yet. These monkey bars are the next goal. They require 57 agility, and when we can cross them, we'll finally be able to access the Chaos Druids to train some magic. But right now, I actually want to see what kind of drops these Chaos Druid warriors have.
That's a pretty tasty drop. Nature runes, we love to see those. That's some free magic XP. That is a good drop. Oh my god. 36 air runes is such an insanely good drop. And this is going to be the amount of air runes we're getting from Chaos Druids down the line. Time for the Restore Your Prayer Without Dying and Getting Poisoned challenge. Let's do this. We win. Good job. The loot from these skeletons and Chaos Druids is really promising, but there is one thing I've been wanting to try for a long time, so let's go do that. So, by finally getting access to Law Runes, that means we've unlocked Telekinetic Grab. And there's something I've been wanting to try for a really long time, which is telegrabbing this cup of tea. Can it be done? This is a massive moment for me. If we can telegrab this cup of tea. You telegrabbing fiend? Okay, God, this dude, he's thought of everything. What a shame.
Thankfully, there's another pretty good use for telekinetic grab, and I realized I hadn't shown myself walking out this door in quite a while, but just as a reminder, I do have access to all of this area here, as you can see from the chunk borders. And if I'm not wrong, I should be able to telegrab these jangerberries off this ogre island.
Yes! Yes, I can! So that is another item that I now have access to. They restore 1 prayer point, if you weren't aware, but perhaps more importantly, these are a good use for all these law runes that we have now and that we will be continuing to get in the future and rake in some really, really, really nice magic XP. So yeah, I'm excited to have unlocked a whole bunch of new items just now. Law runes, cosmic runes, and jangerberries, among more things that we haven't seen yet. So with the new areas explored, the truth is that my next best move is to reach level 57 agility and unlock the Chaos Druids. And there's the mime mask. Finally, I can look like a psycho. And we're hitting the milestone here with level 50 agility. I have a little theory I want to test. Got my steel plate body and my food, and I'm going back into the agility dungeon to test out a little theory I have about run energy. You know how there are some old quests that have an agility obstacle that care about how much run energy you have? That you'll fail it if you have no run energy, but you'll succeed it if you have lots of run energy? I'm going to test that out with this course. I have a feeling that more run energy equals more successes on this balance ledge. So my plan is to run some tests. I want to see how many successes I get at 100 run energy and how many I get at 0 run energy. I'll do 100 attempts on each to see if I can find some results. Alright, first report. At full run energy, it was 87 successes and 13 failures. It's an 87% success rate. So now let's see with 0 run energy how that compares. Alright, this is interesting. So on the 100 runs of no run energy, we had 19 fails, which is not that much higher, but it is higher. Now it's getting me really curious. I'm gonna have to keep testing this. So now I'm gonna wait for my run energy to restore, and we're gonna do this again, because now I need to know. Alright, I believe I've disproven my own theory here. We've done another total count of full run energy, and we have an 18% fail rate this time, so it looks like the rate is probably somewhere between 13 and 20%. I'll do one more test, just to be sure, but before that I have some important business to attend to. How dare that poison interrupt my raking. Alright, I'm killing this Chaos Druid to mark the end of my final shimmy across the ledge, completing the 100 laps of no run energy. Interestingly, I got the same rate as the first time, 13 fails and 87 successes. So that clearly puts the nail in the coffin for the run energy theory, but while my experiment was a failure, it led me down a new research project. I've been working to discover as much as I can about the agility dungeon, but little is officially known about the success rates of these obstacles. The wiki had almost no information on this forgotten content, so I took to Twitter to get answers from the man himself, Mod Ash. Through a long conversation where I definitely kind of pissed him off by asking too many questions in a row, I was starting to get some numbers. Using these and some other numbers I got from members of the wiki team, I sat down and did some honest-to-goodness paper and pencil math to sort out the success rates. I then took it upon myself to add these to the wiki for both the balance sledge and the monkey bars. But why stop there? I consider myself one of the leading experts on the agility dungeon at this point, so I spruced up the wiki page. If you looked at it a few weeks ago, it would have looked like this. Now it looks like this. So to anyone looking at that page in the future, you're welcome. Through all this research, I did discover one huge piece of information that will impact my account directly. Apparently, this balance ledge stops failing entirely around level 65, with success rates getting very good starting in the early 60s. At 65, the XP becomes a consistent 15k per hour with minimal effort. Given that I need to get to level 67, and Trellis XP sits around 5 to 10k per hour, this is a major upgrade that will potentially save me many hours of training agility. Alright, with my experimentation done, we are going to get back to grinding at the trellis until we get some more levels, but speaking of levels, we've got one here, 27 farming. You're just one level away from the farming goal. 51, 52, 53 agility. I've discovered another strange thing. If you leave this dialog box open, and then you wait 15 minutes and click off of it, boom, instant weeds. I'm joined by Miss Clue to open up a mystery box. We'll see if we get some good luck on this one. Please, 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 Mithril Scimitar. Okay, actually 20 nature runes. That's one of the better drops I can get at this point. That's actually really good. Nice. And we're back with another mystery box opening. What could it be this time? I got an onion. That's not a Mithril Scimitar. It's really not.
No.
He died doing what he loved.
Sorry, man. No, I don't plan on going on.
I had a couple friends stop by, so I've been training down here, and there we go, 56 agility, just one more now, and we can access the Chaos Druids. Finally, the mime gear. And I do believe that means that we have completed the random event collection log minus the legendary stale baguette. I decided to stream hitting the new milestone over on Twitch. If you want to know about future streams or just want to hang out, join the Isn't Gamers Discord, link in the description. I'm usually on and I'm always happy to chat. Hey, and there is 200,000 agility XP. That is really clean to see. The rates of this and the thieving grind really aren't that different, but for some reason this just feels a lot faster. Dramatic moment. Not the poison interrupting the raking. There it is, level 28 farming. We can now grow wild blood hops, which was the goal for farming, so we can plant those there once I get some. I actually don't have any right now, so we're gonna have to farm some of those up from ogres later. I'm gonna put that on the back burner for now because we have more important things, but I no longer have to rake. What's going on with this texture? You guys see that? How did it take me till now to notice that? What the? All right, guys, here we go. The last crossing. Please don't fail. Please, no! Okay, one more time. 57 agility, let's go. Yes. And see how they neglect to mention that you can now cross the monkey bars in the Yanille agility dungeon. Why don't you say that, Runescape? First time crossing the monkey bars. Can we succeed? Please succeed. Yo, I did not succeed. Come on now. We made it. We made it. We're at the Chaos Druids. It's been such a long time coming. This is so hype. Why don't we explore a little bit? There's still a little bit more to see. This door is here. It's a one-way door. So I can leave this way, which is pretty nice. I don't have to fear for my life getting poisoned on the way out. And the other one is over here. There's this really great looking, I mean, just look how good this is, you guys. Just, this is some quality programming. going on here. Love what they've done with the place. There's these stairs, which take me to this weird room, I guess you call it. And there it is. This is a lockpick that I need to pick the lock that gets us down here. Now that's pretty cool. The only other thing in this entire room that's actually worth noting is this pile of rubble. And that's where my 67 agility requirement comes from. And that's gonna take us to that guy I was talking about, Salar and the Twisted. But that is a grind for another time. So with 57 agility out of the way, we can now kill these Chaos Druids. Like I said earlier, they'll be the main source of runes I use to train all the way to 66 magic. Although right now my big goal is to get to level 43 so I can start superheating my smithing supplies and hit my range skilling goal. The Chaos Druid's insane drop rate of air runes will make casting all my combat spells a non-issue. But from this point on, I need to start saving all my mind runes for a future method that I'll talk about later. Instead, I'm gonna focus on the law runes they drop. I plan on using Telegrab to level up until I can cast Crumble Undead. I have over 500 cast runes in the bank, so I'm hoping those will carry me the rest of the way to level 43. Yo, it's so many air runes! 36, it's just so many! 69 combat, let's go! Here you can see me trying to set up the level for YouTube purposes and failing, but here's 65 strength. What the? I was just running by and I saw this guy in here killing skeletons, and I had to pop in and see what he was doing. Oh my god. I just came in here to kill one skeleton and talk to this guy, and we got the iron scimitar. Let's go! That's so good. That's actually so lucky for me. And that did, in fact, net us another max hit. We can hit 9s with this thing. That's gonna speed this up by a lot. Not a super notable milestone, but there's 66 strength, and that is a big milestone. Level 70 combat, let's go. Killing these Chaos Druids has been so much fun. I've really enjoyed this. Chaos Talisman? Alright, I guess I have the 2 rare talisman drops. That's funny. I've been killing Chaos Druids for a while now, and I think I have enough runes to get to level 37 magic for Crumble Undead. We're gonna get to telegrabbing some jangerberries, because that's the best thing I have to telegrab. 43 magic XP, that's so good. Oh, they respawn really fast. Whoa, I thought I was gonna have to world hop. Wow, this is even better than I thought. They're like immediately respawning, that's crazy. I'm gonna note these jangerberries on the Tool Leprechaun. Saves me just a little bit of a run to the bank. And there is the first magic level of the grind. 34 magic. 35 magic. And there's 36 magic. And I am now, just now, looking at my spellbook and realizing that it is not level 37 magic to cast Crumble Undead, but level 39. So I'm doing this a little prematurely, I guess. We're definitely going to need to head back down and pick up some more law runes before we can actually do our Crumble Undead session, but, you know, it's all part of the grind. We're going to kill more Chaos Druids eventually, so, yeah. Alright, last one for the level, the incorrect level, but a level nonetheless. 37 magic. We will have to head back down to Chaos Druids and pick up a couple more runes. Hey, there's a fun milestone, level 60 hit points. Alright, I gathered up some more law runes. There is 38, and here we go, this is the last one. 39 magic. And we all know that means we can now Crumble Undead successfully. Not level 37, level 39. So let's go get geared up for that, and we'll go crumble some skeletons. Alright, we're geared up with our 1 magic bonus from the old Iron Dagger. And of course the Wizard's Hat, and over 500 casts of Crumble Undead. Well, this is gonna be fun. Hey, and there's the Iron Axe. That's a nice axe upgrade. And there's a cool one, level 40 magic. And there we go, these guys do drop Chaos Runes, so we can kind of restock this a little bit and keep it going past just the 500 casts I brought. There's 41. We've unlocked the use of Death Runes. Only place I'll be getting those anytime soon is the maze random, which I do believe I'm gonna switch to actually doing the maze this time instead of just standing at the chest. So does that count as a new optimization? I don't know. 42, just one more to go. And there it is, 43 magic. Yo, finally, we can cast Superheat. That's so good. And we had plenty of casts to spare. I'm just gonna finish these up, and then I think that's probably going to be the end of the episode. Alright, the Chaos Runes are done. Not much in terms of interesting loot, but I did get 2 bronze bars and this Iron Axe, so it's actually maybe not as bad as I thought. Those will help with the range grind, and an axe upgrade is always good. Alright, that's it for this episode.
Here are the stats. We made a ton of progress in agility, unlocking most of the agility dungeon, and got a handful of combat levels killing the chaos druids. As for the chunk tasks, we completed the farming goal and got to 43 magic for superheat item. Let's actually go ahead and superheat the first ore. There we go, 6 smithing XP and 1 bronze bar. Next episode, we'll be using up all the smithing supplies and hopefully getting to level 50 range with just bronze and iron knives. Welcome back to Yanille. My plan this episode? I'm gonna complete everything in the skilling tab. But that's not gonna be as easy as it sounds. Superheat will help me hit my smithing goal, and agility is just a slog, but 50 range is gonna be tricky. I'll be honest, when looking at this chunk, I didn't even realize I had to train range at all, but it turns out that the hunter shop in Yanille sells this bad boy, the hunter's crossbow. It requires 50 range to wield and can only shoot special bolts made from the hunter skill. So what's the problem? Well, I have no bow, no crossbow, and no way to craft either one. This means that the only way to train my range is through throwing knives, which I'll have to smith myself. That's why superheat item is so important. A few episodes ago, I spent almost 40 hours luring and killing dwarves, painstakingly racking up these smithing supplies over 4,000 kills. The dwarf grind was its own special hell, but thankfully I'm done with that. I hope. I've got 3 big smithing milestones. Level 7, when I can make bronze knives, 15 when I can smith iron, and 22 when I can smith iron knives. I've been patiently collecting these supplies, not using any until now, and I'm hoping my patience will pay off. You see, I've carefully calculated just how many ores and bars I'll need to smith just the right number of knives to get to 50 ranged, but that means I need to make sure that all of my supplies go towards knives. Level 1 to 7 requires about 50 bronze bars, which would all be wasted, but that's why I've been waiting. I now have almost 100 tin ore which I can superheat, gaining small amounts of smithing XP that should get me just about to level 7 without smithing a single bar. And remember, these 100 tin ore took me almost 40 hours to get, so this is a big deal to me. Alright, here we go. We've got all of our stuff for superheat items, so it's time to just make a whole bunch of bars with this. There's level 2 smithing. Can make bronze maces, get a little bit of prayer bonus if we want that. That might actually be kind of useful. And there's 3, 4, 5 smithing and 44 magic. Wow, that's crazy. 2 in 1. I knew this part was gonna go fast. We're already almost through the ores. And there is 6 smithing, and this is me withdrawing the last of the tin ore. We're just barely not gonna make it to 7, but we got as close as we could, so that's okay. The final tin ore. This took so many hours to collect, and they're gone just like that. There's my 337 bronze bars. Very nice. So now that means that we are going to make a bunch of bronze knives. So let's go ahead and do that. I think we will make this one bronze mace. And there we go. That is the important level. 7 smithing, we can make bronze throwing knives. This is how we're gonna get all the way to 50 range, which is crazy. I hope it works. I'm not sure yet. At this point of recording this, I have no idea whether we're actually gonna get to 50 range off these, but I am hopeful. Bronze knives, more bronze knives. And there it is, 15 smithing. That is huge. We can now smelt iron ore. Let's go. I'm gonna finish the bronze bars up before moving to the iron ore, but it's really nice having that unlocked. 16 smithing. We can make ourselves some bronze plate legs. I think I might actually do that. I don't know if I'll ever have an option to get this leg slot item, so I think it might be time to make ourselves some legs. There we go. 1 set of bronze plate legs. It's so funny that that's an upgrade for me, but it is. 17, 18, 19. That is 20 smithing. The next important milestone is 22, which unlocks iron knives. So hopefully we can get there with all of our iron ore smelting. And there they go. The very last bronze bar has been smithed. And we have 1,660 bronze knives to throw. Pretty good, but we'll have more than that once we turn our iron bars into knives as well. So let's get started on that. Here we go, and there it is. The iron bar has been smithed. That's another chunk task checked off the list. And there it is, a super important level 22 smithing. We can make iron throwing knives. So now we have access to both types of throwing knives without having wasted any iron bars because we used the superheating technique. And we even snuck in there another magic level 45. Insane that is done. Those took so long to get. It's time to smith them as well.
And there's 26 smithing. We can make iron chain bodies. Now, it's not an upgrade, but I need to make an iron chain body. I don't care if this sets me back. Like, come on.
Yo, what's going on, guys? You defended Yanille from any ogres lately? Oh, no, you just stood around these same couple of squares like you usually do? Yeah, same. Same. Just been standing here.
27 smithing. I honestly didn't think we were gonna get this far. Iron kite shields, that's super good. That's my new best shield slot for sure. I'm gonna have to save some bars for that at the end. All right, I'm gonna save these 5 iron bars in the bank just in case I wanna make something else in the future, and hopefully we can get to level 50 range with the knives that we've already created. I ended up with 2,605 knives in total, so it's time to find out. Is this enough to get to level 50 range? Can I turn 2,605 knives into the 101,333 XP needed? Well, as you're about to see, this is a question even I didn't fully understand at first, and there's no way I could have predicted how it would turn out. Let me lay out the plan.
It's called Operation Obliterate Innocent Men and Remove Jig Gig from the game files. Honestly, I'm not sure if we're going to get to that second part, but it's the first part that's important because we are back to torment the men of Yanille in my
favorite piano house. This is a key factor to the plan though, as I spent a long time and a lot of very complicated math calculating how to achieve level 50 range. One of the biggest factors is the abysmal range defensive men coming in at a cool -21. This should make my knives very accurate even from a low level, maximizing the XP per knife. However, if my calculations are wrong, I have to go back to dwarf jail and waste more time and magic supplies luring them again, which is especially bad as I plan on unlocking a brand new hyper-efficient magic training method by the end of this episode, so I need to save up all the runes I can get until then. That's the long way of saying that if I run out of knives, I'm gonna be really annoyed. Let's do this.
I am the kid.
First knife thrown. Boom. Oh yeah, ranged XP. Let's go. And there's the first range level, level 2. This is going pretty slow, but it could be slower. I'm starting off using accurate style because that invisible range boost makes a huge difference for accuracy at these early levels. There's level 9 ranged and 700 total level. One could say that Josh is in fact gaming. Alright, I just hit level 10 and I'm starting to get a little suspicious of my original calculations. I know it's early, but let's just take a quick look at the numbers. At this point, I've used just around 100 knives, or about 3.8% of my total knives. At the same time, I've only gained just over 1% of the total XP needed. That's a difference of 2.7%. Not the best, but it's still very early into the grind and I can only max hit at 2, so I did expect the XP to lag behind at first. And there's 15 ranged. We can now max hit at 3, which should help, but the numbers are still concerning. At this point, 6.6% of the knives are gone, with only 2.4% of the XP gained. That's a difference of 4.2%, which is more than last time. Oh, also, I almost forgot that I wanted to be juggling my easy clue. I got this Yanille step in an earlier episode, and it's been sitting in my bank, but I figured why not try and find a second step. It's extremely unlikely, but hey, you never know. Here's where I hit 20 ranged. I was a decent way into this now, and at this point I could sense a growing problem. The numbers just weren't adding up. It may look like the bars are getting closer, but at 10.5% knives used and 5.2% of the necessary XP, the difference is 5.3%. Are you seeing the pattern? The numbers are getting further and further apart, and this continued into level 30 where there was a 7.4% difference. This could be a big problem. It was at this point that I started thinking like a true gamer. I knew that at the current rate, my XP would never catch up to my rate of using the knives. I realized now that my calculations didn't account for a very important element, overkill DPS. At level 32, my max hit went up to 5, which was great. The higher the max hit, the more XP each knife can be worth. I was relying on this per knife damage to ramp up the XP gain significantly. The problem was, men only have 7 HP. That means if I hit a 5, my next knife can only max a 2, losing a large portion of the potential XP. I needed a solution fast, otherwise I'd be heading back to dwarf jail for a very long time. You're probably thinking the obvious answer. Just kill something with more HP. Chaos Druids are my best source of runes, why not kill those? Well, I ran the DPS calculations, and every enemy with more health would result in at least a 20% DPS loss, since I was relying on the insanely low range defensive men, so this wouldn't be a viable option. Instead, I went with Plan B. Stack 'em out. Seriously though, the answer to my problem came in the form of the hottest gear swaps in all of Yanille, switching to the Iron Scimitar at low health. The way I sorted it out is if I had the potential to hit a 4 or 5, which both give decent amount of per knife XP, I'll keep throwing knives. Otherwise, I'll kill them with melee. This maximizes the potential XP per knife, reducing the issue of overkill DPS. Over the next few milestones, the gap started closing again. 6% difference at level 35, 4.7% at level 40, 2.5% at level 43, which is halfway through the total XP needed now. By the way, let me know if you enjoy these types of data visualizations. Subscribe and leave a comment so I can know if I should do them more in the future. Damn, on the fishing trawler, that is so close, but I can't keep that. That's so sad. Quick pause here. I later realized that dropping this was a huge mistake, but I'll come back to why on that later. For now, it's time to finish up the range grind. At level 45 range, just over 60,000 ranged XP, the gap finally closed, with both the XP and knives used being just about 60%. The melee method had worked, and I felt like I was almost done slaughtering men when something unexpected happened. Oh my god, of course I wasn't recording when this dropped, but what the hell? A second Yanille clue step. Now I actually have a shot at completing a casket. What the shit? This is so rare. Like, we're talking about a 1 in 10,000 chance to find a doable clue step from these men. I mean, I have to try it now, don't I? This is absolutely my one and only shot at doing a clue in my chunk. I don't even care what the rewards are, I just want to complete this casket. But it's gonna take a lot of man kills. Speaking of man kills, here's 47 prayer, all just from burying regular bones. And 47 ranged. I'm no longer worried about the XP rates, I've been keeping my eye on the numbers, and it's looking good. Okay, I haven't tried clue juggling since the change where clues will stay on the ground while logged out, so I'm a little nervous logging back in here. Wow, okay, it's still on the ground. That's crazy, but thank God they changed that. Almost done with range at this point, but this lamp marks a new era for me, which is the having level 2 crafting era. This era changes nothing, I'm just calling it that to feel something. And there it is, 50 range, we made it. Let's go, the hunter's crossbow has been unlocked. Before I do anything else, I want to wield the hunter's crossbow and use our new unlock. And here we go, a hunter's crossbow. There we go. It looks really cool. I love the way this thing looks. That is so good. And that's it. That's a chunk task achieved. Level 50 range to wield the hunter's crossbow. We even finished with some knives left over because I was being so careful with my knife usage, but it's nice to know we'll have those in the bank if we need them in the future. I do have 2 clues on the ground, but before we get back to that, I think it's time for some fun Yanille facts. Get ready, this one's a big one. Drum roll. You can't like stand right next to the wall here. There's like a gap in the. Look, I'm running out of fun facts, okay? Yanille's not that big. Actually, I did slide into the DMs of the OSRS wiki page on Twitter, and they told me a few fun facts. Like, for example, how if you use the NPC contact on Bert the Sandman while standing right next to him, he has some funny dialogue. Except that's not actually how it works. Many NPCs have this type of dialogue, but for some reason, Bert's location data is just completely wrong. If you use NPC contact while standing in the bar, that's when he thinks you're standing right next to him. So now you know about that, I guess. Back to my clues on the ground, let's talk about the plan. With 2 clues, I have a small chance for the casket, whereas if I can find a 3rd clue, my chances are now above average to be able to complete it. 4 clues would be a guaranteed casket, but even hitting the drop rate on that would be an astronomical task, and I honestly don't have 100 hours to kill 40,000 men. One issue with this grind compared to other chunk accounts that have killed lots of men is that I only have 2 man spawns, severely limiting my kills per hour as there tends to be downtime between kills. The range grind ended off with just over 14,000 kills, so we'll see how far we can go with this. We have got the mystery box. Let's go. I gotta reset my clues because I forgot those were on the ground while I was doing that. Let's see. Do we get something amazing? It could be my lucky day. Come on. Oh God, that's so irritating. I keep getting cabbages from these guys, which is the same rarity as an easy clue. That is truly just taunting me. I hate that. 69 strength and 72 combat on that kill. And 750 total level. Wow, that's a lot of levels coming in all at the same time. Okay, I haven't really been showing too many of these clue steps, but I have gotten so many Falador steps. If I was Falador locked, I would have like 6 caskets by now. I literally have like 10 Falador steps. It's absurd. Woof, another prayer level. Man, this has taken a long time. It's been like almost an hour and a half since I got my last clue drop. This is a little demoralizing, not gonna lie. I am going insanely dry on clue scrolls right now, but look who it is. She's Reborn is back, looking festive as ever. Oh shit. Donkey 4 coming in with the bond. Oh, that is making this so much better. I am over 1,000 KC dry on these men. I'm like 4 hours deep without a clue scroll drop. I'm like no clue scrolls at all. I don't know what's going on, but that makes it so much better. Thank you so much. Oh my God, thank the Lord. Just seeing another clue scroll on the ground after literally like 4 hours, that feels so good. Okay, at least I know I didn't break the game now. What the hell? Now I'm getting clue scrolls left and right. That's literally, that was like 2 back to back. But what? And that is a huge level right there. 70 strength. Getting so extremely strong. And there it is. This is the 100th clue scroll. Is it the lucky one? No, it's more Falador. I'm starting to realize that I really don't like juggling clues. It's somehow both boring and anxiety-inducing at the same time. The only silver lining is that I'm actually gathering a lot of really useful runes, especially mine runes from these kills, but other than that, the lack of visible progress is really wearing on me. Hold up, is that 17,773 tiaras on the ground? It is. Well, that's interesting. And this is man kill 20,000. Now, you may see that I have 3 clues on the ground here, but I'm actually doing something kind of different. I'm actually using a backup clue. This is where that fishing trawler step would have come in really handy. I'm just keeping my next nearest clue scroll in case I end up sending it with less than 4 clues. I can at least retain the steps on a clue to maybe roll in a future chunk. For example, here's a step in Taverley. Because I might eventually be able to roll the Dark Wizard's Tower here using the portal in the Wizard's Guild, I may be able to cash in this clue in the not so distant future if I'm able to get 2 or 3 steps on it. And these runes make another really nice milestone, 2,000 mine runes in the bank. Those will be a lot of really good magic experience in the future. I got a visit from one of my favorite new accounts, Pix Axes, aka the Axes Only Iron Man. Go check out his debut episode if you haven't seen it already. He also left me a lot of oysters. This is a deeply suspicious number of oysters.
WTF. I'm too high for this. RN.
At this point, it had been days without seeing another Yanille step, and the reality of the odds of finding another one started to sink in. I knew I could be stuck doing this for potentially a really long time, and honestly, I have a lot of other things I want to do in this chunk, so I decided to just send it with the 2 clues and stream it over on Twitch. This is what happened. And there it is. That is the final man kill to wrap up this clue juggling grind. We're going to use them in the order that we got them. So I think that this is the shop. So let's do it. You're hoping for the insane chance at a back-to-back Yanille step from this clue. What clue do we get out of these drawers? Whew, okay, using up our clues is crazy. Falador, yeah. Mithril Pickaxe Black Plate Body, that is so unbelievably not doable. That is not the clue we're looking to see. We could still get the two-step casket. Here it is. This is the one right here in the house that I've spent the last, I don't know how many hours, and probably easily 20 hours. Is this the casket? Do we get it? Two-step casket. Spin for good luck. Spin for good luck. Oh, I forgot. That's going to totally screw. Hold on. Oh, no. Ignore that. Casket. The two-step casket. Oh, my God. No way. The two-step. Oh, my God. The whole clue juggling was for nothing, but you know what? Okay, yeah, that was worth it. Oh, my God. No way. Oh. Okay. Time to see what is in this. Here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1, open. That is so So yeah, obviously a black longsword, firelighters, and 2 purple sweets isn't exactly what I was hoping for, but aside from some collection log slots, the real reward was just the sense of satisfaction that I can say that, against the odds, I actually managed to open a casket only in Yanille. The demotivation I was feeling from the juggling grind is completely gone, and now all I'm feeling is the excitement to finish the goal I set out at the beginning of the episode, to complete everything in the skilling tab of the chunk tasks. But before we get into that, here's a quick fun Yanille fact for you. Except, it's not fun. This Yanille fact sucks. It sucks almost as much as the black longsword sucks. Remember how I got a steel longsword a few episodes ago? Well, it turns out that the black longsword is only very slightly better than the steel longsword. The biggest disappointment is that they have the same strength bonus. The only real difference is that the black longsword has +4 to stab and slash, which is an extremely small bonus to DPS and by no means outclasses my iron scimitar. So unfortunately, the black longsword is nearly useless. Nearly. I had someone point out to me that it's now my best flinch weapon, which may actually come in really handy in the future, as there are still some pesky ogres whose large bones I need to, extract in the future. Back to the task at hand, there's only one goal left to finish up the skilling tasks. 67 agility, to be able to pass the final obstacle in the agility dungeon. Last episode I left off at level 57, but I actually did a bit of agility in the background while training range, so we're starting off at level 60. If you know your RuneScape math, you know that 60 is the halfway point to 67 in terms of XP, so we've got about 270,000 XP to go. And here's 61 agility. These levels are insanely slow now. The trellis maxes out around 10k XP per hour, but in reality it's more like 5 to 8,000 depending on how much attention I'm paying. Last episode I talked a lot about the balance ledge in the agility dungeon and how its success rates start to scale very favorably as you get closer to level 65 agility, so I think it's time to go test that out. There's level 63 agility, no clue what happened to level 62. It probably blazed by so fast I didn't even notice though, because damn, this XP is good. 11k per hour with minimal effort. Now that's what I'm talking about, these XP rates are a chunk account's dream. Another mystery box, these are always exciting. Still looking for that mithril scimitar. What do we got? 20 nature runes, okay, that's still actually really good. So I mentioned earlier that I made some more discoveries about the agility dungeon this episode. It turns out that the damage you take from falling off the ledge is actually based on a percent of your total health. It seems like it'll always deal 20% of your current health rounded down. That means that the optimal way to do this is to keep your health low to reduce falling damage, but that's a little tricky when the spiders below poison you. So you'll see that I try to keep my health around half while training for the rest of this. There's 64 agility. If you remember from last episode, 65 is supposedly when you stop falling off the ledge entirely, so that's something to look forward to. Alright, so this is going great, but I have one complaint, which is this stupid Chaos Druid who's constantly hitting me for like 5 and wasting my food. He's level 37, which means he'll stop being aggressive to me at level 75, which is actually only 2 combat levels away, so I'm actually just gonna go do that real quick. Oh, I also almost forgot that I actually can make a new best in slot shield upgrade, the Iron Kite Shield. So there we go, now it's a nice little defensive bonus, and it looks actually quite good. I mean, I look like a freaking professional. And there's 75 combat. We will no longer be bullied by the Chaos Druid Warrior. Let's get back to agility. You got something to say now, buddy? Huh? You got something to say now? I didn't think so. 65 agility, and good news, either I got really lucky, or you actually stopped failing to cross the ledge at level 64, not 65, because I didn't fall a single time that whole level. Just 2 more now. Hey, hello Mr. Genie, and this lamp gets us to level 3 crafting. I'm lamping crafting with the hopes of spinning my own bowstrings at some point in the future. Wait, what the?
Wow.
Hello agility
Lol.
man. The ledge is being used grief time.
Lol.
Easy come, easy go, I guess. 66 agility, just 1 more now. These levels are in the ballpark of 4 to 5 hours each at this point, so I am ready to be done. And let me tell you that what we unlock at level 67 isn't just another arbitrary obstacle to pass, it actually unlocks my absolute best magic training method that I'll be using until I'm done with the chunk. I'll be going into more detail next episode, but for now, just know that it's really exciting. Oh my goodness, absolute Chad, don't say ass with the bond. What an absolute king. All right, we have turned the object markers off for this one. This is the final ledge cross for 67 agility. You can now access the Yanille dungeons using rubble climb. This is such a weird message. What the hell? Okay. That is the level we've been looking for so long, 67 agility. This easily took over 60 hours in total, probably closer to 70 with a good chunk of that being in this episode. That leaves just one thing to do. I've been waiting to do this since the day I started this account. There is the pile of rubble and there we go, we've climbed it. Task complete. That's the last one for the skilling tab. There's a lot of interesting stuff up here, but that is a topic for next time. I'm coming for you, Salarin. The progress here took over 90 hours to complete. We completed the entire skilling tab and got a couple of magic levels to boot. And I say that with enthusiasm because everything we've done so far pales in comparison to the time it's gonna take to reach level 66 magic in Yanille alone. Aside from that, I still can't believe we completed an easy clue just in Yanille, but I mean, you know, YouTuber luck. Definitely hit that subscribe button because next episode we're diving into another incredibly obscure and interesting piece of content in Yanille that's going to do massive things for the account. RuneScape has a lot of bosses and most players have killed at least a handful of them, but you would never suspect that hiding under the town of Yanille there's a secret boss that most people don't even know exists, despite being in the game for over 20 years. This thing has unique drops and even offers a hyper-efficient training method, but there's one problem. It can't be dealt damage. Normally at least. Almost no one kills this boss, but today I'm gonna take it on and learn everything there is to know about the mysterious boss of Yanille. Another beautiful day in Yanille as usual. And I would know, as being a Onechunk man, I've spent over 500 hours locked to this city. Yet, in all that time, I've never been able to kill the boss of Yanille once. But today, that changes. I will be taking this boss down. Hopefully it's not gonna matter that my best gear looks like this. Actually, gear isn't the reason I haven't been able to do it. Let me just quickly catch you up. Last time I finally reached level 67 agility, all from painstakingly training on the Watchtower Trellis and in the Yanille agility dungeon, which took around 80 hours total. That checked off the final skilling task for the chunk, leaving only these tasks left for me to complete. But it actually did a lot more than that. With 67 agility, I can reach the final room of the agility dungeon. It's probably this high agility requirement that makes the boss who lives here so obscure. Despite literally being the second non-quest boss added to the game following the King Black Dragon, and having been around since RuneScape Classic, very few players know the name Salarin the Twisted. At level 70 combat and a max hit of 7, he's not the most dangerous boss, but he has a special mechanic. I've alluded to it already, but let me now be very clear. You cannot damage Salarin with your normal bossing setup. A whip, a blowpipe, a trident, none of these will work. You'll just hit zeros and he'll roast you to your face. But I think I can actually take advantage of his special mechanics. In fact, I'm relying on them to help me hit some of the biggest goals left on this account. I really want to show you what fighting this boss looks like, what kind of loot he has, and how he can massively help the account, but there's one problem. Currently, my only way to get to Salarin is to run through the entire agility dungeon.
Every trip through the dungeon has a chance to drop me into the poison spider pit below, dealing heavy damage and poisoning me, dealing over 100 poison damage in total. Without reliable access to anti-poison, I'll quickly burn through my food and end up making each trip hyper inefficient and basically unviable. Thankfully, there's an easy solution. This door. It skips all the dangerous agility obstacles, and it's accessible from this house right here, conveniently close to a bank. All I have to do is get 82 thieving to pick it open. Wait, 82? Yep, 82 thieving, an absurdly high skill requirement, but it's also an elite diary step, making it one of the chunk tasks I've known about since day one. I would have had to do this grind regardless, so I figure I should get it out of the way before diving into fighting Salarin. So, I'm here training thieving. It's been a little while, so as a quick refresher, I had to get to 65 thieving to pickpocket one of these guys, a watchman. As with everything in Yanille, they're weird, old, janky, and basically useless to everyone but me. There's only 4 of them in the entire game, and they're only found right here in the watchtower. Every successful pickpocket gets me 60 coins, a loaf of bread, and 137.5 XP. Actually, sounds pretty sweet, right? It is until you realize that these guys start at around a 40% success rate and max out at 69% success. Nice. Anyway, let's just say I'll be seeing a lot of this for the next, I don't know, 40 hours. There's the first level of this thieving grind in the background that I'm doing. 66 thieving. Got 14 to go. Thieving Watchman can get boring even for a respectable chunk man such as myself, so I had some friends come over to help keep me entertained. Okay, now I'm gonna do a clip for the video. Get ready.
I'm coming. I'm not wearing anything cool though. Should I wear something cool?
I'm wearing a gold necklace currently, so you have to match that.
Yeah, alright. I'll wear something cool. I'll wear something cool.
You
Ready?
better look good.
Let's go this bread. Oh, yeah. Oh my god.
What's up?
So awesome.
68 thieving. Say that.
This bread?
Yeah.
Did I do it?
You did it.
Thank God.
This is so mundane, it feels like a job sometimes. Gotta sit down and do my 9 to 5 pickpocketing watchman. 69. Nice. Alright, mystery box time? Something exciting? Come on, something big. Oh, we hit the rare table and it was 3K. Oh, that sucks. Oh, it could have been something so good. And there's a big level 70 thieving. We could pickpocket from paladins, which, yeah, that's never happening. Hello, Mr. Genie. Lamp on crafting for level 4 crafting. Slowly working our way towards being able to do something. 71, 72, 73 thieving. By the way, these levels are taking over 2 hours each already, and we're about a quarter of the way through the grind. Another real genie for level 5 crafting. They recently made a change to random events where the ones that give costumes will give you a lamp if you have all the costume pieces already. That has made an insane difference in the rate of getting lamps, so I'll probably get a lot more lamped crafting levels this episode. And there's a huge milestone, 75 thieving. We can now pickpocket from gnomes, which are really, really not too far away. 76 thieving. I am at very low HP. Any bets on what level it takes me to die for the first time? Hope that doesn't happen. And another XP lamp from a Leo random event. There are a lot more lamps coming in. I can really tell the difference. Check it out, guys. I can get a Slayer task from Javradel.
What's my task?
Your new task is to kill Colonel.
1 Colonel.
Yes.
Let's do this. Destroyed.
Your reward.
Do I get Slayer XP?
Hey, best Slayer task I've ever done in my entire life. 77 thieving. That is huge for so many reasons. First of all, I finally hit the 50% success rate on pickpocketing Watchmen. So I'm finally at breaking even. Second, 430,000 GP in my inventory. I'm estimating that I'll end this grind with about 860,000, so I believe this marks the actual halfway point of this section of the thieving grind.
The Watchmen are rebelling.
And there is 79 thieving, very nice. And we've even got a little genie lamp here for 7 crafting as a little treat.
And there is a huge level 80 thieving. The first 80 on the account. Just 2 more to go now. To celebrate the milestone, I've got a fun Yanille fact for you. Watchmen edition this time. Watchmen have no drops, so they're clearly only in the game to be pickpocketed. And whether it was intentional or not, Jagex made this room the perfect place to AFK pickpocketing. Ideally, you want your target to get stuck somewhere it can't move so you can just spam click without looking, and this room has not 1, not 2, not 3, 4, 5, or 6, but 7 areas where you can easily trap Watchmen. The bunk beds have lots of room, and the ladders are conveniently near the corners of the room, but I think my favorite is trapping a Watchman between this table and chairs. This just looks so funny. All these spots make it really easy to pay no attention while thieving, which is usually good, but not always. Oops. 80 thieving is where I die to not paying attention. 81 thieving. Man, it is going to be so cool to have 82 thieving. I'm going to be able to do basically everything in the game that requires thieving. That is the second time in over 40 hours right here at the end. It's getting to be too much, I guess. I don't know. It's, Oh, wow, it is finally over. This is the last pickpocket. And of course, I'm still struggling because the rate on this has been terrible the whole time. But there it is. Finally, oh my god, 82 thieving has been achieved. And it doesn't even tell me that I can do the thing that I need to do. Here, let me fix it. It should say, you can now picklock this stupid door in the dungeon that no one ever goes to except for dirty snowflake ironmen. Perfect. This has been a 55-hour grind and I am so thankful it's over. I can't wait to get down there and take on Salaran the Twisted. Though I am a little sad I didn't see the Rocky Pet, as I think I was about 20% of the drop rate, but it's whatever. I did end up with over 1 mil though. Check that out. I love to see that. And this will cover the cost for buying full Mystic once I can finally enter the Wizards Guild, which itself is a chunk task. But that of course requires 66 magic, which is really the last big grind remaining on this account. All right, we can finally use the lockpick to pick the door open, and that is a chunk task complete, as well as an elite diary task. That's crazy. We have 1 easy and 1 elite. This means that we can run straight to Salaran and never get poisoned, which means it's time to dive into what this video is all about. It's time to kill the boss. Let's talk Salaran. Salaran the Twisted is a super weird boss. It almost feels wrong to call him a boss, but he's listed as one on the wiki and the game treats him like he's extremely powerful, being called one of Kandarin's most dangerous chaos druids. But I think what qualifies him most as a boss are his unique mechanics and his unique drops. As I mentioned in my previous videos, Salaran drops the Sinister Key, and for years was the only monster to do so, though they were added to the loot table for Magpie Implings and the Chaos Fanatic much later. The Sinister Key opens the Sinister Chest in another room of the dungeon. At the time of release, this chest was the only source of Torstals in the entire game, meaning you had to kill Salaran in order to get them. But like I mentioned earlier, killing Salaran isn't that simple. He's immune to all damage. Well, except for attacks from the mind. Now, just picture yourself in 2002 when this was released for a sec. What would you think attacks from the mind means? I'll give you a second to think about it. If you guessed he can only be damaged by strike spells, congratulations, you're right. Attacks from the mind, because mind runes, get it? Yeah, Salaran can only be damaged by the weakest spells in the game. Kind of awful. But wait, there is a silver lining. Salaran isn't just susceptible to strike spells, he gets annihilated by them. They will always land not only their max hit, but a weird boosted max hit that deals way more damage than the spell can normally deal. These spells do 9, 10, 11, and 12 damage respectively on every hit that lands. And they give full XP for those hits, meaning Airstrike always gives 23.5 XP, which is 150% more than its normal possible max hit. And Firestrike will always give 35.5 XP, an insanely efficient rate for the low rune cost. For a normal account looking to kill a boss, this is
Probably perfectly fine, I imagine. Hitting straight 12s is a respectable DPS. But for this account, this is truly a godsend. My last big goal is to get to level 66 magic, and my best source of runes is killing Chaos Druids, which thankfully drop air runes and mind runes. Salarin's quirky combat mechanics turn these runes from the worst spell in the game to actually a highly efficient training method. In fact, I believe that barring strictly profitable methods like alchemy or plank make, this may be the most cost-effective magic training method in the game, maxing out at 4.5 XP per GP spent on runes. That means that if you spend 100k on runes, you expect to get 450k magic experience. That seems kind of insane. This can obviously be amazing for Ironmen, but even for low-level main accounts, this can be profitable as the Sinister Key is currently selling for over 30k on the GE. Anyway, that was a long way of saying that Salarin equals good magic XP for me, and I'm happy. That was a lot of talking, so let's actually see it in action. I have over 2,000 mind runes stocked up from my recent clue juggling grind killing men, so let's see how many Salarin kills we can get and if we can find any Sinister Keys. This is the hallway to get to Salarin, and this is the weird agility obstacle that requires level 67 agility. Here he is. Salarin the Twisted.
Your pitiful attacks cannot hurt me.
Well, actually, one of my most pitiful attacks can hurt you. Taste the power of Wind Strike. Yeah. And look at that. They always hit for 9 consistently. 9s every time. This is going to be so good for XP. Though I am getting kind of beat up right now, so I'm going to need to figure out a better way to do this than just face tanking him. But yeah, that's the first Salarin kill. I've heard that there's a weird safe spot where you can get him to back up against the wall, but let's see. How do I set this up? So it looks like if I'm behind these skulls, he'll always retreat. And I mean, this isn't quite right, but I'll get better over time. Really, the important thing here is how much more value I get out of my strike spells. As you can see, each of these is giving me way boosted XP, like I talked about, and this is going to be critical for hitting my magic goals in this account. So yeah, that's the basics of this boss. Let's see some Salarin kills and what kind of loot we can get. By the way, if you like learning about this type of obscure old content, let me know in the comments and consider subscribing, as these are the type of things I love to cover in my videos. One of the annoying things about this grind is that I don't have a staff, so I cannot auto-cast my spells. So I'll have to do a lot of manual casting of spells. It's going to be really tiresome and really tedious, but it's actually faster than auto-casting with the staff, so hopefully that can make up for it in some kind of weird way. And there is the first drop that makes Salarin the unique boss that he is, the Sinister Key. Like I said, I will be stockpiling these, but I will be opening at least one Sinister chest this episode. First inventory beating up Salarin the Twisted, and we end off with 2 Sinister Keys after about 100 strikes. Strike spells. I have a feeling I'm gonna end up with a lot of these. Gonna be pretty interesting. And the very first magic level of the grind, 46 magic. Excited to finally at least start getting somewhat numerically close to the goal of 66. Hey, there is a weird kind of an upgrade, I suppose. A black dagger. I've actually been waiting for this drop for a little while, even just for the swag. It has that same weird magic attack bonus that all daggers have, but it's obviously slightly better than the iron dagger, so it's kind of nice to see. 48 magic. I have found a relatively easy way to keep Salarin in his safe spot without having to miss too many clicks by keeping him in the corner over here. Hello there, Mr. Genie. Why, thank you so much. Is it possible this lamp gives us a level? It does indeed. Level 8 crafting. It's crazy how fast I've been able to level this up. And there is the first 1,000 casts on Salarin. We got a good handful of levels, up to 48. It was 137 kills of Salarin the Twisted, and we're looking at 18 Sinister Keys, which feels actually quite good, quite above rate there. We have about another 1,000 casts to go. One weird thing I've noticed is that whenever Salarin drops a super defense potion 1 dose like this, it just looks like a giant coin on the ground. Obviously it's a bottle, but like, doesn't that just look like a big coin? New item idea, big GP.
This rocks.
I am your shield, babe.
And there is 50 magic. Every magic level counts so much as we just crawl our way to that 66 goal. Keep in mind, we're not even a quarter of the way there at this point, though. Oh my goodness. Do you see what's sitting underneath that law rune? An elite clue scroll. 1 in 500 from Salaran Twisted. Let's take a look at what this is. There's a small chance that it might actually be something that I have some use for, which is even hard to believe, but let's see. Tarn's Lair. Now that is extremely far away. Still really cool to see this. I am going to drop this one because I'm still just holding out the tiniest bit of hope that I will see the elite clue scroll that I actually want to see. 65 hit points. That is really satisfying. I've been looking at 64 hit points for a really long time as I had to heal up constantly when I was thieving the Watchman. So seeing 65 is actually a really satisfying change. 51 magic, and that is going to be the last level as we're just about out of runes here. And yep, that was the last cast for now. Let's go take a look at what we've managed to gather through this grind so far. And there we go, we got 22 Sinister Keys, which I'm very happy with, and here's the overall loot for 269 Salaran kills. One nice thing is that he drops some runes, all of which are useful to me, so it helps keep the magic grind going bit by bit. But of course, it's not enough to sustain the grind, so that only means one thing: it's time to head back to Chaos Druids and gather up some more runes. But before I jump back down there, I have a not so fun Yanille fact for you guys. Bots. The main city of Yanille is generally pretty bot free. There's not much to bot here after all. But I discovered not one, but 2 rampant bot farms in the agility dungeon. In the room with the Chaos Druids, I've found that almost every single world has a guy in it that looks like this. But it actually makes it incredibly difficult to find a free world to kill the Chaos Druids for myself. And remember how I said almost nobody knows about Salaran the Twisted? Well, there's at least one other person, and he's running a massive bot farm as well. Most worlds at Salaran have a guy in this interesting setup. It's kind of sad to me that the only people killing Salaran besides me are bots. I'm sure they think they're safe in this completely ignored corner of the game, and, well, they're kind of right. I'm sure there's nothing we can do about it, but Jagex, fix your game, please. I've had to resort to hanging out in high-risk worlds just to find a free world, but now that I have worlds myself, doing this is so chill, so relaxing. I love killing Chaos Druids. It's such a satisfying grind. And this makes me that much more grateful that I did the thieving grind already, because it makes these trips so much more efficient. It makes it so much easier to bank and quickly run back down without any risk. I don't need to bring any food. It's just that much more chill. Oh, what? Was that a loop after the key? That is very rare. Yo, this inventory was cracked for law runes. That is 9 drops of law runes in this inventory alone. That's so much XP. How much even is that? That was 774 magic XP in one inventory. That probably sounds like nothing, but to me that's amazing. That's so crazily good. And that is a huge level, 73, and yes, of course, Bodhi, whatever, but there's actually a much more important thing. Level 73 strength should allow me to hit a new max hit of 10. There it is, the big 10 new max hit. The 10 is especially good because, as you can see from a little health bar up there, Chaos Druids only have 20 health, making it theoretically possible to now two-shot these guys. Not gonna lie, that was an insane maze run. And we got mithril ore and coal and arrows. Not what I wanted at all. That sucks. It's a fun little 74 strength. Always love to feel a little something. Alright, killing Chaos Druids has been a lot of fun so far, but I need a little bit of an AFK activity, so I'm gonna try flinching the ogres with my new best in slot flinching weapon. Hey, so useful. And as this is the first time I'm killing these guys, I have another fun Yanille fact for you, Ogre Edition. There are lots of different types of ogres in the game, we've seen them all, but I'm guessing you've never picked up on this one subtle difference. In fact, you won't even find this on the wiki page for ogres. Here are 2 different ogres. Can you tell them apart? I think it's pretty clear that one is holding a weapon and one isn't. But did you know they behave differently too? All around Gutanoth, there are different groups of ogres. The unarmed ones are aggressive and will certainly bonk you if given the chance.
On the other hand, the armed ogres are actually non-aggressive, as they tend to stand around named NPCs who you need to talk to for part of the Watchtower quest. This is really nice for me. I don't have to worry about going AFK and dying to the ogres, as I'm gonna be flinching them in the background while I do some editing. So, haven't shown off much, but this area all here outside of the castle walls is within my area. So, we're gonna find a little flinch spot. Okay, this seems to be a pretty functional flinch spot, and there's the first ogre kill on the account for some big bones. I guess I should probably talk about why I'm killing these guys, other than as a pretty mediocre AFK and an excuse to use my otherwise worthless clue scroll loot, which I'm definitely not still sad about, but anyways, these ogres have 2 chunk tasks associated with them. The main one being their longbone, dropped at a rate of 1 in 400. That's pretty awful, but it's not actually that bad, as I'll probably hit around that many kills in the end anyway. That's because I also need their drop of wild blood seeds, so I can finally plant them for the farming task I raked my way to a few episodes ago. I'll need 4 wild blood seeds to plant them, and at a rate of 1 in 85, I'll probably come pretty close to killing 400 or so ogres. Hey, a new unique item, strawberry seed. Not really all that excited by it. Doesn't do anything for me, but I couldn't get that before, so now I can. It is really satisfying to see that 11 max hit with the black longsword. I was definitely disappointed with it in the casket, but it's nice that it has a niche use here for this weird activity. Well, that did not take long at all. Ooh, wow. Nice. The long bone. What? I was not expecting that. I've been only doing this for like an hour. What? That's so funny. That's literally 14 KC. Well, I guess that's a chunk task checked off. Oh my god. 434 chaos runes off that maze. Christmas came early, baby. Seriously, these chaos runes represent about 17,000 mage XP, which is absolutely insane for me. This easily just saved me multiple hours of grinding. And that ogre is the 100th ogre kill. If you ignore all of the random event loot down here, you will see our ogre loot. We've got really lucky on the rare drops off this. Avanto seed, 2 cactus seeds, snapegrass seed. Those are all super rare drops above 1 in 500. The ogre RNG has been pretty insane so far. Of course, even with all the good rolls we've got, we have not seen the actually more common wild blood seed drop. So we're still a ways from our ogre goal, but I'm feeling really, really good about those chaos runes. I'll probably switch on and off doing this with killing chaos druids whenever I need to be more or less AFK. So I've been killing lots of chaos druids, and during that time I've been trying to calculate just how many I think I'll need to kill for the runes for 66 magic. You guys seem to like this type of data stuff, so here's some fun Yanille math. The chaos druids drop these runes, which I'll use for these spells. These are the average XP value for each spell in a very rough sense, as it's hard to account exactly for splashes. Each one of these has sort of a rune stopgap, meaning the rune that drops the least frequently. By multiplying the drop rate of that rune by the average XP gained, then adding it all together, we can get the average expected mage XP per chaos druid kill, which is about 15 XP per kill using these spells. If we look at the last time I was training magic, I had about 4,000 chaos druids killed and 114,000 magic experience. Subtract that from the total of almost 500k XP needed, and the total comes out to somewhere in the ballpark of 380,000 more XP needed to level 66. 380,000 divided by 15, the average XP per kill, gives us around 25,000 more chaos druid kills, with the total coming in under 30,000, which was my initial calculation. That's quite good, but this video would have taken another month or two to come out if I went all the way for 66 magic here, so let's shoot for the halfway point. If you know your RuneScape math, you know that 59 is the halfway point to 66, as your XP doubles every 7 levels. So I'll be gathering the runes to get to level 59 in this episode. Look at all those runes. It's not every day you see one of every type of rune that the Chaos Druids can drop. And there's a big 75 strength. Strongington. And here's another lamp for another crafting level. I realize I probably should have said why I'm lamping crafting, but I'll just save that for when we actually get to the level I've been waiting for, because I think it's going to happen in this episode.
Oh, that was 23 Chaos Runes from Prison Pete. I didn't realize you could even get Chaos Runes. That's so good. The random events have been insane for runes lately. Hey, shout out to this guy. Thanks for the bond, brother. And also, I don't know what got into you guys, but I received so much kindness from you all during the filming of this episode, and all I can say is thank you so much. It's stuff like this that really makes me grateful and proud to be a part of the OSRS community. Seriously, it makes my day every time, and shout out to every one of you who even just stopped by and said hello. Got yet another mystery box. I get so excited every time I have one of these. Let's see what it is this time. Mystery box. Someday. Hey, level 76 strength. 76 allows me to hit my max hit of 10s while using the other combat styles, so I think I'm actually going to get some attack levels. Probably get attack up to 60 before getting defense up to that level as well. There was 57 attack, and as you can see, I'm about to be 6-hour logged. It's the first time I've seen that in quite a while, but killing these Chaos Druids has honestly just been a lot of fun lately. And this is the 10,000th Chaos Druid kill. I do believe this is probably going to be a pretty good place to take a break and train up some magic, and hopefully we'll get to the little goal I've set for myself. The rune tab is back to looking rather healthy with a lot of air runes. Oh my god, that's a lot. Tons of chaos, and of course the mind runes, probably the most valuable. And like I was just saying, these are the spells we're going to be casting, so let's get to it. As with a couple episodes ago, I will be telegrabbing these Janger berries. These things spawn really fast and are sort of like budget prayer potions for me, so I'll be telegrabbing these for a good handful of levels. 52 magic, 53 magic. And this is the last telegrab for the time being. Didn't get us another level, but got us really close. But I do have a lamp here to put into crafting to get another crafting level, level 10 crafting. That's what I've been looking for this whole time. We can now craft bowstrings and crossbow strings, meaning that if we do find our way to a spinning wheel, we effectively unlock the range skill in like a normal way. Very cool. I think next up we're gonna take some chaos runes down and crumble some undead. Ooh, that is a clean 1,200 Jangerberries. It's actually really funny. I didn't know that was gonna happen. Very nice. It's a lot. 1,200 prayer restore? I don't know if I'll end up using those for that, but maybe someday. All right, we've got the insane mage set up. And it's time to mess with some skeletons. And there is that level 54 magic. Very nice. One more for High Alchemy, which is a ton of banked XP that I haven't been able to use yet. And there it is, the big 55 magic. Unlocking high level alchemy. So useful for this account. Not for the money, of course, but for the XP. It's really, really good XP for basically just one nature rune. And I have lots of nature runes stocked up in the bank. And the final crumble undead. That was significantly more XP than I was expecting to get out of Chaos Runes because of that amazing RNG I got from the Maze Random. About halfway through this next level, let's switch over to some High Alchemy. I found some oak longbows in my bank, and I think that means that it is time to enjoy some good old-fashioned alching. 65 XP per, that is insanely good. This is going to be amazing to level up. Be back with you with some levels. Beautiful 56 magic. We're really getting up there now. 10 levels until we can basically leave the chunk. That's so crazy to think. And here goes the final nature rune, scooting in just over 200,000 magic experience. And we've got a nice clean 18k from all those. All right, here's the plan. So we've got a whole bunch of runes coming with us down to Salarin, and the plan is to get him with some wind strikes and then use curse on the chaos druids in between. So we're gonna be training magic in 2 different ways at the same time. And these are the rest of my runes. So I'm hoping, really hoping that this gets us to the level that I'm looking for, but we'll find out, I guess. Curse is such an obscure way to train magic. I love having to scrap together runes to squeeze out whatever magic XP I can. And there is the level 57 magic. Very nice. We can enchant diamond jewelry down the line. Now that is a good looking inventory for Sinister Keys. This inventory is probably worth easily over 100k. Racking up those Sinister Keys to do a big opening later, but like I said, I will do at least one chest opening this video. And this is unfortunately the last curse that I'm going to be able to do with my current runes. I'm out of earth runes, which I actually thought waters were going to be the stopping point, but it turns out earths are, so we'll actually have to gather some more before we can do more cursing. And here it is, 58 magic, 8 levels away now. That was quite a while of killing Salarin. Yeah, we've killed a total of 373 Salarin the Twisteds. At this point, I know that I'm not gonna have enough runes to finish out this level, so I think what I'm gonna do is go back to Chaos Druids and do about another 1,000 kills or so. I thought I mathed it out right, but the fact that I couldn't cast off all of my water runes as curses basically cost me that XP that I thought I had here, so we're gonna need to make up for that as we gather some more runes. So let's get to it. And there goes 60 attack. Very nice. We can eventually, someday, wield some dragon weapons. We are gonna switch over to defense now, just to keep things relatively even. And all this training has really done quite a bit for the account. Here's 80 combat. Big gains. And there was a nice level in the chat box. Level 50 prayer. I had to even it out. It was sitting at 49 for way too long. Just had to get it to a nice even 50. Looks good next to the range right there. Hey, 69 hit points. Nice. And there's 55 defense. You can tell by all the levels that killing even just 1,000 of these guys is not a quick process. I do believe that this is going to be the last inventory of runes. This is actually a really nice looking inventory, so this should easily get me to level 59 magic. And there goes the last of the law runes. It's time for one last trip to Salarin to finish out the level. And after many Salarin kills, we're down to under 100 mine runes again. But I do believe that this will be level 59 magic, halfway to 66. So we are halfway through the magic grind. There's one more thing I have to do before the end of this episode. I said that I wanted to open at least one Sinister Key and get my hands on that coveted Torstal herb. Looks like we got exactly 40 Sinister Keys from over 400 Salarin kills. I think we're actually decently above rate. So I'm gonna grab one of those and a strange fruit, because you do get poisoned every time you open the Sinister chest, and the strange fruit is an anti-poison. Here we go. I'm super excited. I have yet to do this ever in my entire life. Let's open the chest. And there we go. Look at that. We have the grimy Torstal. Wow. And yeah, those are the herbs that you get. And I'm getting beat up by a skeleton. Before we wrap up the episode here, I kind of want to give my thoughts on Salarin now that I've done all the content related to him. He's a really strange boss, but I think some historical context may help us understand just why he is the way he is. Remember that Salarin was added to the game with the release of the agility skill. He was basically the reason to do agility, as there were no shortcuts and very little high-level agility content. And with the Sinister Chest, he was the sole source of the highest level herb in the game. The agility dungeon was trying a lot of different stuff, and agility as a whole was less of the convenient skill we now know it as, and was more used to unlock areas of content and progress deeper into a mysterious dungeon. At the time of release, Salarin probably seemed like an incredibly cool payoff for agility, being seemingly invincible with one hint in the entire game as to how to beat him. Given the probably small number of people who even had the high enough agility level to find him, I bet this was a legitimate obstacle to trying to kill him, since information was a lot less available back in the day. Having spent so much time here, I absolutely love the agility dungeon. It reminds me less of a typical RuneScape area and a lot more like a single-player RPG dungeon, like something you might find in a Legend of Zelda title. The linear design with content gated behind player progress, all leading to a boss that has a unique mechanic but who provides one-of-a-kind loot, just screams classic RPG to me. It's also a complete package with the self-contained minigame of gathering sinister keys to open the chest. From a RuneScape perspective, it was also a great way to level many skills that were new to the game at the time. Thieving, agility, and herb lore, with the level of efficiency of training one relying on progress in another. I genuinely wish OSRS had more content like this these days, with open-ended options for training and exploring, leaving the decisions of how exactly to use the content up to the players, but giving a good incentive to do it all. Obviously, this can't quite be recreated with the sheer density of endgame players running around, but I think the Agility Dungeon captures a very fun perspective on RuneScape content design, combining efficiency, mystery, and a sense of player agency that could be revisited in one way or another. But anyway, that's enough waxing philosophical about extremely dead content. It's time to recap all the massive progress in this episode. Here are the stats. In total, there was 127 hours of playtime added to the account, meaning I spent over 60 hours killing Salaran and the Chaos Druids to go from level 45 to 59 magic, and gaining just over 180,000 XP. That comes out to around 3,000 magic XP per hour. We checked off even more chunk tasks than I was expecting, with the 82 thieving diary task completed, acquiring a sinister key, and even finding a longbone wildly below drop rate. That leaves us with one very clear goal for next time: 66 magic and finishing the chunk. And while 7 levels might not seem like much, trust me, next episode is going to be just as big a grind as all the others. It's been nearly a full year since I stepped foot into one of RuneScape's oldest, most overlooked cities, Yanille. Having locked myself to only playing in this area, I've explored every corner of the Forgotten Town, dug up every bit of odd trivia I could find, and now I'm finally on the verge of making my escape. One singular, massive chunk task stands in my way though: the 7 magic levels of hell. I'll explain why these 7 levels have caused me so much pain, but first, I just wanted to say that if you've made it this far into the video, thank you for coming along with me on this wild ride. It's meant so much to me, and it's incredible that so many people have been invested in the journey of ChunkYanille. So seriously, I appreciate each and every one of you. Now, on with the video. Welcome back to Yanille. I'm so excited. This is it. The season finale. We're gonna finally beat the Yanille chunk. And that means I'm going all out. I'll be dropping every fun Yanille fact I had left in the files, talking about my hopes for future chunk rolls, and even going to a place I had never noticed before in the city. Now, before I tell you about the 7 levels that are the reason why this video took almost 3 months to make, let me quickly catch you up to speed. Last episode, I finished up nearly every chunk task, including 82 thieving to picklock this weird door in the Agility Dungeon, and getting my first taste of, bossing, you could call it? I killed Salaran the Twisted, Yanille's bizarre Chaos Druid boss that can only be damaged by strike spells, and I used his unique mechanics to help level up my magic to 59, the halfway point in terms of XP to my ultimate goal, 66 magic to enter the Wizard's Guild. And that's it. That's the only task left to do, since as soon as I can get into the guild, I can pick up my mystic robes and complete the chunk. So, how could 59 to 66 magic possibly have taken me this long? Well, as you can imagine, it's kind of a long story, involving many dead Chaos Druids, so let's just pick it up where I left things off last time. And here's the first melee level of the grind: 58 defense, and 82 combat, very nice. The current kill count is sitting just under 12,000, so that's where we're starting this episode. If you need a quick refresher as to why I've killed 12,000 Chaos Druids and counting, it's that these guys are my best way to train magic with the runes they drop. Earth, air, mind, body, law, and nature runes are all on their drop table. And because of Salaran's weird mechanics, Airstrike is actually a great way to train magic at about 23 XP per cast, so mind runes are my best drop. I think my plan right now is to get to about 1,000 casts of Airstrike, go shoot them all at Salaran, see how far that gets me, and rinse and repeat. Oh, and as a reminder, last episode I estimated that I'd need to kill around 28 to 29,000 total Chaos Druids to finish the chunk, so we can keep that number in mind as a benchmark. Another defense level there. Haven't even killed 1,000 Chaos Druids yet this episode, so yeah, you can just run those calculations for yourself. In terms of XP gained. Wow, I have not gotten a dunce random in ages. Book of Knowledge. These used to make me so happy. Now they're just pretty good. I've been putting my lamps into Hunter. Not sure if I'm really gonna go all the way to 17 and unlock Piro. That's opens up a whole can of worms I'm not super interested in at this moment. If I could pick that up, I think I would probably just be able to leave the chunk immediately. Shout out to TCG Collector for the bond. I appreciate you as a avid Magic the Gathering fan. Also, I'm recording this after the fact, but I'm pretty sure I saw you killing Sarachnis on League, so if you're watching this video, what's up, brother? And there is 60 defense. We could, in theory, wear something. I don't know. What's it, 60 defense? Dragon. Yeah, we can wear dragon. I'm losing my mind down here. No. Bro, the bots found my high-risk world. Get the fuck out of here. Well, Rune Javelins. I think we're almost done with the entire rare drop table off these guys. Oh, nope, I was wrong. Tooth half of the key. Now that actually completes the rare drop table. All right, it's actually the gem drop table, but that's every item from those guys. And take a look at these drop rates. These are ridiculously rare. Hey, there is a clean level 70 hit points. There is 77 strength and 83 combat. We are really getting strong. Hello, I'm just checking in. We are over 15,000 Chaos Druids killed, and I just want to bring your attention to something. See this on the ground? See this? This is 3 coins. Yeah, I picked that up. See this? That is 1 grimy guam leaf. I picked that up too. I'm picking up literally every single drop that isn't bones or a vial of water. So that may explain why this is taking long, but I refuse to let any resources go to waste as I do this. Oh, also, this isn't new, but this is something that I didn't show last episode, which is picklocking this door. This is me. You just spam click through it. It's a bizarre picklocking experience compared to most lockpicking in the game. I just looked and we are over 16,000 Chaos Druids, and I'm just waiting for one more drop of Mind Runes to switch back to killing Salaran, as we'll have another 1,000 casts. And there it is, the last drop of Mind Runes needed. I'm gonna switch over to training some magic now. This has been quite a while of killing Chaos Druids already. I'd say we're maybe around 20% of the kills needed for this episode. Before we just jump into magic though, I know why you're all here. You want fun Yanille facts. I mean, who wouldn't? One of my favorite places to go for fun Yanille facts is old trivia from Runescape Classic. I feel like knowing the history of the game helps me understand why everything seems so weird here. For example, this house with the anvils in it. I love this house. It's on an angle to everything else in the city, which makes the anvils in it look strangely natural with their placement. But did you know that this house used to be locked? Yep. In RuneScape Classic, it required 16 thieving to pick the lock to use these anvils. Like I've said in past videos, Yanille seemed to be part of the testing ground for the new skills of the time, like thieving and agility, hence the existence of the agility dungeon and its many different skill integrations. I've got a couple more fun facts for you like this in the video. Like I said, I'm gonna share every last little detail I discovered while playing here. Alright, this is what the rune stores are looking like so far. We've got 1,000 casts of Airstrike. The law runes will go towards telekinetic grab, and we've got some high alchemy as well as the runes for curse. So those are what we're going to be casting while we kill Salaran. And there's the first sinister key of the episode. Beautiful. Love to see that on the ground. For those who need a quick refresher, I'm killing Salaran the Twisted. He's weird in that you can't do damage to him with anything but strike spells, but those spells have fixed damage. For example, Airstrike will always hit him for 9, as you can see here. This increases the efficiency of magic training by a ton. One downside to killing him though is that I have to use this weird safe spot that you can see here. I have to get him to try to retreat by standing on one of these marked tiles here, which can be kind of annoying. Best upgrade of my life. I just put the respawn timer for Salaran so I can see when he's coming back, because I feel like I'm wasting time killing Chaos Druids when he has already respawned, so this should hopefully save me quite a lot of time. Another elite clue, okay. These are 1 in 500. I'm honestly shocked I have 2 so far already. There is a step that has some use for the account, and the chance of finding it is extremely low, but let's take a look. Where is this? Northwest part? Yeah. I'm gonna go with no on that one. But, what we're looking for is one of the clues that has this Armadillo or Bandosian guard. But this one we're gonna drop. Yo, 36 fire runes. Okay, this is kind of my best possible drop off of Salarin, as stupid as that sounds, but that enables me to cast more high alchemy and is really my only way of restocking fire runes. So hopefully he keeps dropping lots of fire runes. Okay, we need to pause here for a sec. I know I kind of just explained it, but let's talk about why 36 fire runes is such a good drop for me. It starts with understanding the goal. Here's some quick math. From 59 to 66 magic is approximately 250,000 magic XP. Last episode, I estimated that each Chaos Druid is worth around 15 magic XP when you average out their rune drops. Cool. 250,000 divided by 15 is around 16,666 Chaos Druids, which, when you add that to my 12,000 that I started the episode with, puts you in that 28 to 29,000 range I mentioned before. But there was a flaw in my math. Well, I mean, I knew about it, but I couldn't estimate how big a problem it would be. You see, these 3 spells require runes that Chaos Druids don't drop. Without them, Chaos Druid kills are only worth around 9.1 XP each, which would increase the number of kills needed by a lot. But thankfully, I don't have to worry about that, as I have lots of the secondary runes stocked up in the bank. Well, maybe not lots. You see, I'm relying on Salarin to drop fire and water runes so I can keep casting Curse and High Alchemy, and I need Chaos runes to come from the Maze random event. If I go dry on these drops, well, I may be in for a much, much longer grind than expected. Great job, squad. Excellent work. We'll do it again next time. Whoa, that was a lot of splashes in a row. I guess one thing I didn't mention last episode, and I got a lot of questions on, is why am I wearing magic gear if I always hit my max hit? And the answer is it is possible to splash on Salarin, as you just saw. It's just very unlikely. I've never even seen 2 splashes in a row, let alone that 3 we just saw, so that must have been an unbelievably unlikely thing to happen. Oh yeah, more fire runes. God, I love to see these. The best drop for me right now. And there we go. 60 magic on the account. That feels so good to see the first magic level of this episode. We are progressing quite nicely. 6 levels to go. I think I have level 61 banked. We're gonna find out. But yeah, this is not a fast process. It's a lot of Salarin kills added. But I think it's time we shoot off all of our law runes, see just how much XP that's gonna be. Well, the Freaky Forester just graced me with a lamp, and this lamp begins a new era. Level 2 Hunter. Yeah, we're gonna get some Hunter levels just to get this started. And here we go. Many, many hours. Gather another massive amount of Jangerberries. I'm not sure when I'm ever gonna use these, but you know, they're fun to have. They're a fun little prize. And we are super close, only 4k away from another level. I think we can get that with some High Alchemy, so let's do that. And there we go, level 61 magic, 5 levels to go. We're so close now. I can just taste it, that's so good. And we just crossed over into 300,000 magic experience. This is amazing, I feel so good. I'm gonna go back down and gather some more runes from the Chaos Druids, so that I can do another big group of magic levels soon. If you're just as excited as I am to wrap up this final grind, hit that subscribe button so you can see what's in store for the future of ChunkYanille. And now the fun of trying to find a free world without a bot in it. Let's do this. Hey, next world. Okay, I don't know if something changed, but when I was doing this before, there were so many bots, and now it's a lot easier to find a free world. Maybe that video had something to do with it. I would be really surprised, but you never know. I really don't want this video to get too repetitive with all the Chaos Druid killing, so how about another fun Yanille fact? Let's talk about this guy, Sithic Ints. He's the obnoxious, bedridden loser who won't let me have his cup of tea despite never drinking it. During the Zogre Flesh Eater's quest, you have to make a portrait of him, which apparently rolls on your crafting skill. If you have decent crafting, chances are you'll make a portrait of him. With the examine text, a classic realist charcoal portrait of Sithic. Okay, fine. But if you have low crafting, you might fail the roll and make a bad portrait. which doesn't work for the quest and has the examine text, a semi-nihilistic, pseudo-impressionistic, half-squarist charcoal sketch of Sithik. Not gonna lie, the bad portrait sounds kinda awesome. But that's not all. I asked our king Mod Ash for some really, truly obscure Yanille trivia, and he said that during development of the quest, there was a bug where Sithik and his bed were programmed to move, and they would scoot around the room. I really wish this was still in the game. It sounds hilarious. Bro, was that 3 mind rune drops back to back? That's literally the best RNG I've ever got on this account in my life. Another one. And here is 18,000 Chaos Druids killed. Probably gonna have enough runes for another magic level pretty soon. Wow, a whole inventory without any runes. This is a sad day for ChunkYanille. Ooh, a maze. Yeah, we're just gonna go for the end. Let's do it. Hopefully we get lots of chaos and death runes. Solid 73%. What do we get? That is no 400 chaos runes from the last episode. Ugh. All right, we just finished up 20,000 chaos druids. But change of plans. Leagues is happening and I'm having fun on the other monitor, so we are going to be continuing to kill chaos druids for the foreseeable future while I play leagues. Maze time. Let's do this. Easily one of my cleanest mazes of all time. A cool 77%. And what do we get? Bro, we get 2 rolls of myth. Why can't these mazes be good? Leagues was clearly too enthralling, as you can see here in the chat box. I just hit 80 strength. What a huge milestone that is. We're going to switch over to attack and then defense and raise up all of our combat stats to some nice even numbers. And there's the first attack level 61. Very nice. Ooh, and 85 combat. Oh, and a surprise exam. What the? Everything's happening at once. We have a book of knowledge for a hunter level. Level 3 hunter already. And that's 850 total level. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Honestly, I'm just recording this clip to commemorate to myself how long I actually spent doing this, because I have been doing this for so long and I'm still not even close to done, but we persist anyway. Another attack level. 62, 63, 64 attack. These levels are coming in crazy fast. 86 combat already. Like, I have been a Chaos Druid murdering machine these last 2 days. And there's a nice milestone. 65 attack. Do I get magic experience? Please? Yes. Oh, that's the first time I've gotten the magic experience off of that random. 650 mage XP. And that random event will be the end of my training session tonight. About to get 6-hour log yet again. And we'll toss this on Hunter to cap off the night with a beautiful little level 4 Hunter. Shout out to Leagues for making this so bearable. It's another day, and we are at 66 attack in the chat box. I am considering a slightly different approach, actually. I'm not gonna stop killing Chaos Druids, but I have an idea for something that might be worth my time. Okay, so this is what I was thinking of doing, is coming to these Chaos Druid warriors. Now, they're way harder to kill. As you can see, I'm actually at pretty low health here, and they have worse rune drops, but there is one very important reason I want to kill these guys, which is for their fire rune drops. And there it is, the fire rune drop. 12 at a time. It's not amazing, but it is pretty good. I think I'm gonna have to come back to these guys later after I train some more defense, and I can actually bring my full defensive setup, currently rocking the hair. Yeah, I just wanted to try these out. They're a lot more AFK also. They're much harder to kill. So we'll put this idea on the back burner for now. I do want to see how many fire runes I get from just killing Salar the Twisted, because he drops a lot of fire runes as well. and that may just cover my needs. We'll see. I could get really lucky or I could get totally unlucky. We'll find out later. Average day in Yanille. 67 attack and 87 combat. It's all sevens today, baby. Okay, quiz. Come on, this could be big. This could be my big day. Mystery box acquired. Come on, finally. Why can't I just get a mithril scimitar? It would make this so much better. Well, my terrible mystery box luck aside, that was my 25,000th Chaos Druid kill. You can see the loot tracker on screen now. I've never killed this many of anything in this game before. This is actually insane. It's crazy to think that there's actually an end in sight for this grind. I really don't want this video to become just pure random events and grinding, so I've got something a little bit different for you. As I get closer and closer to finishing this grind, the idea of rolling a chunk becomes more real to me, so I thought I'd share my thoughts on the surrounding chunks without spoiling too much about the content there. Let's head over to the chunk picker and check it out. So here's my current unlocked 2 chunks of Yanille. These 6 chunks will all be rollable on my first roll, so let's talk through them. Chunk 1 is the Tree Gnome Village. Despite maybe not looking like it, I can actually make my way to the center of this thing from Yanille. I'd actually love to unlock this chunk as it has a dungeon of its own, plus a general store and some other goodies. Plus it screams old in the same way Yanille does. I give it an 8 out of 10, very hype. Next are my 2 least ideal chunks to roll. Not even because they're bad, but chunks 2 and 3 border what I would consider a death chunk. Port Hazard and the Fishing Trawler, which has grinds that would take an unholy amount of time. Aside from that, chunk 2 is the Fight Arena, where I can complete the whole quest, which would be pretty nice, but no major unlocks. I'd give it a 4 out of 10, mostly knocked down by its proximity to the death chunk. Chunk 3, though, is bottom tier. It literally unlocks nothing and puts me right next to Port Hazard. 1 out of 10, dangerous and boring. Chunk 4 is the Dwarf Chunk, whose border I have spent many an hour at. I'd love to roll this chunk and get revenge on those dwarves face to face. This does have some potentially rough implications for a smithing grind, but I'm excited for it nonetheless. Give it a 6.5 out of 10. Dwarves better watch out. Chunk 5 is Gutanoth, the Ogre City. While it currently has no unlocks, as I can't enter it without progressing more in the Watchtower quest, it's one of my life goals on this account to make it in there one day. Also, I'd love to venture south into Feldup Hills, so I want to roll this one for sure. Give it a 7 out of 10, but maybe someday it'll be a 10 out of 10. And Chunk 6. I saved the best for last. Castle Wars. Now, I was very excited to get to do some Castle Wars if I rolled this chunk, until I was informed that Castle Wars, the literal arena of Castle Wars, is itself a chunk. I can't go into the minigame until I have both these chunks unlocked. Very sad, but I could still dream for it. Although this chunk does have one other very important unlock. The Castle Wars minigame teleport. What's so great about being able to teleport from here to here? Well, now would be a good time to remind you that back in episode 1, I mentioned that there's one other way that this account can roll chunks. These portals. On the 3rd floor of the Wizards Guild, there's these 3 portals that lead to magical towers throughout the game. I said I could use these portals to roll their respective chunks, but only if I have a way to return to Yanille. The Castle Wars chunk is the perfect way to return using the free renewable resource that is the minigame teleport. I really want to use these portals to roll chunks, making Castle Wars a 10 out of 10 roll, even if I can't use the minigame itself just yet. So there you have it. Those are the final scores. But honestly, I'm just excited to see wherever the chunk roll takes me. So to make sure that actually happens, we gotta get back to grinding. Nice. And there is a very nice looking level 70 attack. All kinds of really exciting upgrades that I'm sure I'm going to be able to use in the near future. Woo! And combat level 88. All right, we are leaving the Chaos Druids for what'll be the last time for a little while. This batch gets us over 2,000 mind runes yet again. and we have just tons of casts, and I really want to see where this is going to get us mage XP wise, so it's time to head back to training some magic. And as with before, we'll be starting off with some telly grabs on these jangerberries, my favorite berries. Alright, something weird happened with my recording software, but that was level 62 magic, as you can see in the chat box, and we're looking at just over half the law runes spent on that. 62 magic did enable the use of Wind Wave, which is pretty cool, so we're gonna get to use the handful of blood runes that I still have in my bank. So I got a little bored telegrabbing jangerberries, and I came over here and started flinching this ogre, which reminds me that I should probably mention that I do have one more goal in this chunk that has to do with these ogres. A couple episodes ago, I got to 28 farming, which lets me plant wild blood seeds in the farming patch. Last episode, I was able to get 1 wild blood seed, but I still need 3 more from these guys in order to complete the chunk task of finally actually planting a wild blood patch. So occasionally I'll come back and kill them for hopes at those wild blood seeds. Well, that is not a wild blood seed. What? That is like 1 in 400, and that's my second one. Not a useful drop, but cool to see, I guess. All right, the ogre flinching break is over. There we go. That's it. That's the law runes. We made it most of the way through level 62. We're going to go see our old friend Salarin now and give him some love in the form of magical damage. I'm actually a little bit under rate from Salarin's rune drops right now, so I'm hoping to see lots of those. If we get really lucky, we may get a lot of magic experience out of this, and that means less Chaos Druid kills and sooner finishing the chunk. Another Quizmaster. This is crazy. I feel like I've gotten a ton of these lately. Okay, is this the one for the Mithril Scimitar? Please? What the what? What? A hard clue? That sucks. That's so rare. That's so much more rare than the Mithril Scimitar. Oh, God. Why can't I just get this stupid Mithril Scimitar? Salarin down. Sinister key acquired on the first kill. It's good to be back. Speaking of being back here, I've got another fun Yanille fact about this room specifically. Did you know that it lost something from its changeover from RuneScape Classic? There's these piles of rock in the back corner, but there also used to be 2 iron rocks in this room. I'm honestly super disappointed that they removed those. I would have loved to be able to mine some iron in my chunk with the help of some lamping. Another thing they changed about this room is Salarin himself. I'm guessing you don't know that he actually got kind of a big nerf from his RuneScape Classic version. He used to immediately drain your attack and strength to 0 as soon as you got in combat with him, which I'm guessing was the quick and dirty way of making sure you never hit him with any melee attacks. I guess in RS2 they figured out how to override the combat math and just make all attacks deal 0 damage to him, but I gotta say this would have been extremely inconvenient if it were still true, so I'm glad it got changed. Best safe spot in the house. Okay, I was just doing some math and I realized something kind of cool. If you do 4 Earth Strikes and 3 Air Strikes, you actually get Salarin exactly 71 damage, which is 1 damage above his health, which is actually perfect because it's pretty common for him to regenerate 1 health while you're casting on him. It's mathematically super clean. And there it is, 63 magic. Very nice. We are making our way downtown. Yeah, magic level, but woo, more water runes. Yeah, huge day for Josh Isn't Gaming Industries. Yes, fire runes. That's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, another set of fire runes. These things are 1 in 128 from him, so now I actually am feeling like we're getting a little bit lucky on the rune drops, and that is exactly what we need. We're going to get another shot at something good from the mystery box. This is actually kind of the most exciting thing that happens on this account. Every time I get a shot at this, it's always fun. What do we get? One body rune. One body rune. What the? This looks like a huge one. What is this? This is a tier 9. Oh my god, I'm the first one to find it again. Damn. I have a lot of doubled star mining banked up now. This looks so weird here. Okay, quick pause. There's something I realized I've never noticed about Yanille, which is crazy to say after how long I've been here, but I've never noticed this weird path that goes behind the bank. literally never acknowledge that this is here. Why is this here? Clearly there's some attention put to this. There's this little like bump out in the road texture. And it's strange because there's, you know, more of a path to go back here than, for example, to either of these two houses. So it's really implying that like you should be going back there for some reason, but there's no reason to go back there like at all. I can't believe I've never noticed that. That's so strange. Also, if you've been enjoying the original soundtrack, you can listen to all the music I've made for the series in the playlist in the description. So my Chaos Druid kills between Salaran have been adding up, and we're just over the 28,000 mark, which was, in my estimation, sort of near the end. But if you look at the XP left, we have almost 100,000 till the total XP needed. So I'm guessing we're a little further than I thought. I somehow missed the clip, but I just hit 64 magic. I only have a couple hundred more strike spells left to cast and almost no other runes. So I'm guessing that my initial estimations were potentially very off. This 66 magic goal has been a part of the account for forever, and it's closer than ever, but at the same time it still feels so far away. Without getting to use all of my body runes and nature runes, the XP rates are super slow. Well, I've got a few more runes to use before getting back to Chaos Druids, and I think I know where I'm going to use them. We're going to use my new weird spot behind the bank to do some high alchemy. We'll see how far this gets me. I'm sure not enough XP to the next level, so yeah. I'm going to have to quickly run some numbers and see just how many more Chaos Druids I think I'll need to kill. Well, it looks like I'm going to be killing no less than 7,000 more Chaos Druids. Yeah, we're at 28,000 right now, and I thought last episode we were going to end at 29,000, but I think we're more realistically going to end around 35,000. So, yeah, you could say my math was a little bit off. Another genie lamp for another hunter level to start off. Heading back down here into the Chaos Druids, level 6 hunter. All right, another maze random. This could actually be my saving grace if we get runes here. What do we get? Oh, yes! Yes! 238 chaos runes! Oh my god, that is huge. That's gotta be like a good couple thousand magic XP in Crumble Undeads, so that is really helpful to see right now. And there's another defense level and the big 90 combat. That is wild. Oh my goodness. 90 combat is crazy to see on this account. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I had edited this whole next section, but the truth is, you've seen it all already. A couple of combat levels, some random events, the odd drop or two. I know I was ready for this grind to be over at this point, so I'm sure you are too. Let's just get to the next thing. We are just over the 32,000 Chaos Druid mark. I'm actually very close to being done with the runes I need for magic, but before we finish up the magic grind, there's a couple of loose ends of different things around Yanille that I need to finish up, and I want to do those things now before I finish everything so that I can make the magic the last thing. So I'm combining all of the super defense potions that I got from Salaran because one of the final things I need to do is get 3 more wild blood seeds from ogres. And I figure if I have a renewable source of super defense, I may as well use them for a nice plus 15 boost. That seems really good and a good way to maintain my health as I kill these guys. So like I mentioned in a previous episode, these ogres over here with the maces will not attack me. They're not aggressive, but these ogres over here that many people have gone to classically canon and such are aggressive and they will attack me, which means that I can actually literally AFK these guys, finally. First seed, there we go, 2 more to go. All right, we got wild blood seed number 3 out of 4. Hey, I was AFKing too hard, but there it is. The last one. Shout out to all the pies that I've been eating. Made those all the way back in episode 1, and I am so grateful I had them because I ate quite a bit of food while getting that done. All right, now if I'm gonna actually plant these seeds, I'm gonna need to pick up some farming equipment that I never actually bought. I think I need a seed dibber, yeah. I think I need a seed dibber. All right, so we're gonna throw some compost on the patch, which I had neglected to do the entire time I'd been raking. And then we're gonna plant the seeds. This is huge. I've never been able to do this. Look at that, 23 farming XP. That is nice. Yeah, I forgot to say, but that was a chunk task complete. I had raked my way up to 28 farming, and now finally I have something growing in my patch. The funny part about this though is that if they do grow successfully, obviously they're of no use to me, but it's almost even funnier is that I can't actually even harvest them because I don't have a spade. But that's done now. With that done, there's one more chunk task I want to hit before finishing up the magic grind. This is a bit of an obscure one, but there's some quest progress I can do in Yanille. Now, I thought I could start Hand in the Sand from Bert here, but it turns out you can't even start it without the crafting level requirement, so that's on the backlog for now. There is a quest that I can at least progress a little bit. It is the only quest I have in my quest log, the Watchtower quest. Last time I talked to this guy, he told me there were some missing crystals, and then I need to search the bushes. Let's see, what can we find? Tattered eye patch. I think what we're looking for is fingernails. I have no idea which bush it is, but I know there's some other random junk that can't do anything with, but it's my only chance to get. And you know me and items. Ooh, there it is. The fingernails. Ooh, look at that. A damaged dagger. Ooh, unusual armor. That's cool. I don't know if I've ever seen this icon before. Is that used for anything else? I think there's one more item. I remember looking it up. I think there's like some tattered robes or something like that. Ooh, there it is. An old robe. All right, I'm pretty sure those are all the items. I'm gonna show him my stuff. These belong to a scavid. So he's making an allusion to the scavid caves that are all around Gutenoth and the caves to the south. Those will come in pretty handy / will be relevant later. And now he's telling me that I need to get into Gutenoth, which is one of my goals for this account. It's gonna be tricky because some of the items needed are not easily found, including dragon bones, so that may be quite a while before we get there. And he's telling me to check with the local ogres, so I think there's at least one ogre that I can talk to who might have some information for me. It's time to talk to the only ogre that I can talk to, which is Og. He wants me to get some gold back from a ogre named Toban. So I'm pretty sure if I remember right, that is on this island. That's my memory. So we're gonna need to unlock this chunk at the least. I think we need these 2 chunks to do that. So that's still quite a ways away, but I believe that's the last step I can do. It just feels so weird to be finishing up all this stuff in Yanille. I've been here for so long. Feels like most of this would never happen, honestly. Also, I think enough time has passed. Walking for dramatic effect. Hey, we have wild blood hops. We cannot harvest them, so they will sit here indefinitely until I find a spade. And I guess now all that's left to do is kill Chaos Druids and get some magic levels, so let's do it. And this will be kill number 34,000. Man, I had a lot more work to do than I thought I did. I know I'm gonna kill some more while training magic and killing Salarins, so I think I'm gonna switch over to training magic now and see if we could squeak out the last 2 magic levels with the runes we have here. Yo, we're back at it again in the Jangerberry telegrabbing spot. This is extremely dumb, but one of the fun things about this grind is the fact that the Jangerberries come in groups of 25, so my numbers are all really even. Just does something for my brain to see this exactly 100. The first of the last 2 magic levels coming in here. 65 magic, we are just 1 level away. And the final Jangerberry I will ever telegrab, I assume. Let's hope there's not more of this in the future. But that's done. Always enjoy that grind, it's super chill, but it's time to take the fight to Salarin. Actually, before we go to Salarin, there's one more thing I have to do, which is use up these chaos runes that I got from a maze random. Unfortunately, not as big a stack as last time, but I will of course come here and cast some Crumble Undeads on these skeletons for some extra magic XP. Goodbye, Chaos Runes. You served me well. It did set us up very nicely for the Salaran grind. I think I have enough. We'll have to see, but I think I have enough XP. We are looking at just under 30,000 experience. Can we get there with the runes we have? This is what we're working with. 1,165 mind runes. We will see if that gets us there. Some quick math says it's gonna be close. We're kind of banking on Salaran dropping some good runes, so hopefully he does. Look at that page of castable spells. Woo! That is a lot. And I'm not gonna waste my water runes on Water Wave, but I am gonna use up my 8 blood runes that I got from killing guards a long time ago. Or soldiers, I should say. Oh, 17. That was my last blood rune, and it was the only time I saw that max hit, but that is the highest hit I have ever hit on this account. Okay, I am more than halfway done with my mind runes, and that is the first rune drop I have gotten from Salaran. So, unless he just starts dropping a lot of fire runes, this may be a problem. We're gonna find out. Oh, fire runes, those are always good to see. I'm gonna have to deprogram myself from getting excited about basic rune drops. I don't know if we have enough runes. It's gonna be close. Yes, more fire runes. I think we're gonna do it. I think we're gonna get there. And I think that is gonna be the last Salaran kill for now, because look how close we are to this level. We got there. The runes made it happen. Oh my god, I'm so excited. But I don't think, even after everything, that this is the right place to end the magic grind. I think we should go back to where it all started. Standing here outside of the Wizards Guild, we have completed so much in this chunk. So many ridiculous tasks. And to end things off, we're going to High Alka Bronze Battle Axe for the dwarves. A Steel Longsword for the soldiers. With literally 1 XP remaining, we will telegrab 1 final set of Jangaberries. And there it is. 66 magic. Oh, I have been waiting to see this since day 1. Oh my god. It's done. We can enter the Wizards Guild. Looks so good. And there it is, the hard diary task completed to enter the Wizards Guild. Yes! Finally! Oh, so many days waiting to get in here. Of course, there is one final task in the chunk to trade this guy here and become an actual beast. Full mystic. Oh my god. Look at that. I actually look like a real character. I have useful items in my gloves and boots slot. I have real items that someone might actually use in this game. Let's take a little tour of the Wizards Guild. These are the portals that I have been referring to. These will take you to different wizard-like towers around the world. Obviously, I can't enter them now, as that would be leaving my chunk, but they are there for future chunk rolling possibilities. There's some vials on the table up here. What the heck? A new area in my chunk. I'm so not used to this. The last place is somewhere you may have noticed if you've been watching the series for a long time. Obviously, I've been down here for a long time in the Agility Dungeon itself, and we've seen this thing, but I've never been able to come in here. It is the basement of the Wizards Guild, and this guy wants me to practice magic on his zombies. But yeah, that is the Wizards Guild. Super excited to have access to this. And that's it. That's all the chunk tasks done. Here's a look at the final complete list of tasks. I've been waiting a long time to see all of these green. The final stats and the final playtime. 35 days played, we ended just under 850 hours in this chunk. Final look at the bank, 32 mil total value, insane. We collected almost 1,000 and sold Chaos Druid heads. That's almost 600,000 prayer experience in heads alone, what the hell? Almost 10k mithril bolts, I mean, that's just wild, right? Of course, this is the most ridiculous tab, the herb tab. Almost 10 mil in just Renar. Wow, how much is this tab worth? Yeah, almost 27 mil alone. Nearly 4,000 Jangerberries? That tells you how much telegrabbing I was actually doing. A ton, an absurd amount. Everything else is relatively normal, although there is one thing I'm forgetting. All of my 78 sinister keys, I need to open these all up. This has been something I've been looking forward to the whole time. Plus, these are gonna add to my total herb count, and I really wanna know how much banked herb lore XP I have right now. I brought my strange fruit so that I can clear the poison after opening each chest. And there we go, the first inventory done. Look at all these herbs. That inventory alone was over 500k. Holy. Okay, the math has come in. For all 20,417 of these herbs, if I were to clean them all and then make them into what I believe is the most likely potion that I would be able to make them into, that would be a grand total of 1,466,927 XP, or about 10k away from 77 herb lore. The ending kill count for my Chaos Druids was 34,461. Although if you add in Salarin the Twisted and the Chaos Druid Warriors, we're looking at 35,774 kills. So if you want to know what that gets you, it's about 77 herb lore. Oh, another thing you might enjoy knowing is that I gained 38,265 thieving XP just from going through this door, which as you can see gives about 50 XP each time. So that comes out to 765 times through this door. That's the number of trips I went through to kill Chaos Druids, Salarin, or do whatever else I was doing down here. Quite a lot of trips. Well, my friends, it has been quite the journey. It's crazy to think that 11 months ago, I stepped foot in this city and just haven't left. When I started this account, I had no idea if I would actually be able to commit myself to these insane grinds, but the treasures I discovered along the way, the odd bits of trivia and history, and of course, your support kept me going. There's a whole world to discover beyond Yanille, but I'll never forget what this city gave me. End of the grind, 58 cooking. And there we go, 15 wood cutting. We can cut oak trees. 65 thieving, we can now pickpocket from Watchmen. That is it. This is the last one for 4,000 dwarf kills. This is insane. There it is, level 28 farming. 67 agility. There it is, 50 range. We made it. Let's go. There it is. Finally. Oh my god, 82 thieving has been achieved. Thanks for joining me on this journey. I've spent the past year of my life here, but it's time to move on. This closes a big chapter for me, but thankfully, the future is bright. ChunkYanille's adventure is really just beginning. In fact, I have something special to show you. Let us roll another chunk. Oh my god, I am so hyped. Please, something good. Let's go! Let's go. Oh my god. See you guys on the other side.